Hey, good morning. Nice to see you.
Hey, Blake. Good morning.
Good looking crowd already.
How are you?
Good. I'm bummed out about this Canton story.
Temperamental today. Yes. Isn't that crazy?
You gotta definitely put that in your headlines.
Yeah.
That should be your lead.
I miss them.
If it bleeds, it leads.
I don't go as often as I used to, but definitely I went yesterday and I was like, one last Peking duck.
When is it closing?
End of the year.
Oh, into the why? What's the story? Well, tell me on the air.
I was going to say, if you wait a few seconds, I can tell you.
Tell me on the air. We just have traffic, and then we'll be right into news headlines. I'll feed the traffic to you.
Awesome. Right? Good morning to
106.1 Kiss FM.
Google traffic. I say good morning to the Mo train coming at 10.
All right, we're going to just pull him out for one quick second while I try to find my clock. My countdown timer. Application's already running. Oh, that's strange. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. No. Oh, my God. I've just done something.
That's a nice. Is that a new microphone?
No, it's the same microphone. I just did something. I was like, what did I just do? I hit the countdown timer and it opened the window. Let me try it again. Hold on. Okay, it keeps opening in the wrong window. Something
444. DMS real-time traffic.
All right, stand by.
So strange. It's got my monitors listed wrong. I gotta send this to Marlon. This is an IT problem.
Big news. I have some important news for you.
Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
Blake, I'm good. How are you?
We are good over here. What's happening in the headlines?
Awesome. So Canton restaurant will be closing. Chinese restaurant will be closing at the end of the year. I know.
I read that last night.
Oh man, I know.
Why? What's happening?
Basically, it's just that the one side of the partners are getting older. They're the more active partners in the business, and so, essentially, it's like management, like who's really going to be hands-on and run it. And I think some of the younger folks and the Foster's family in particular probably have other things. The Foster's group is actually quite large. They have a lot of business interests, and so they're
Canton is owned by the Fosters?
That's I guess it started out as the Canton partner, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And I bet you didn't know that they also were the partners when Outback Steakhouse was here. And so I remember after Ivan, when that entire plaza was like underwater, they had to make a decision, a business decision, keep Canton going, or I guess keep Outback going, and they let the franchise go. And I used to love using Outback, yeah.
Yeah.
So they did quite a substantial remodel because that plaza was about under 4 or 5 feet of water.
Was it really?
Yeah. Were you here, Ivan? You weren't here, Ivan?
No.
Oh my God, yes. So if you ever go into Canton, you see where the tile comes up like it's more than like the halfway mark of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
That's how high the water was, because that used to be like wood trim around there, and they had to pull out all the wood because they got water. It was under like seawater. So I remember at the time that they had to pull all the wood out and replace it. So it's the end of an era after 27 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So go get your last couple meals in. Everybody's like, you said this is your last meal, but it doesn't close for another, 5 months or 6 months or whatever. And I said, yeah, but I might not get there again. So I went yesterday and I made sure I got me a Peking duck just in case.
Bring Outback back.
I know.
By the way, I spent many years of my 20s working in the Outback Steakhouse, not here, but in
really? I love Outback actually.
And I had it's kind of a wild story. I had a good friend of mine who, do we have time for the story? Let's see.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I was working at an Outback Steakhouse in the Washington, D.C. area.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a good friend of mine who was like, hey, I'm going to go to the Outback. I'm going to transfer to one in the Caribbean. I was like, where are you going? Cayman Islands. Okay. Didn't know where that was at the time. So my good friend Liz came down and worked at the Outback in the Strand for about a year or two. And her roommate, her first roommate, ended up being Don Seymour's wife, Cheryl, which is kind of wild.
It's a small world.
And then I ended up moving to the Cayman Islands and working for Don. And then, as I was telling Liz that story, she's like, "What? My first roommate down there was Cheryl." Anyway, it's kind of a wild story.
Pretty small world. All right, congratulations.
I love the Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, me too. Oh my God, everything in the menu is awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Caymanian Marilyn Brandt. She's been promoted to Deputy Solicitor General in the portfolio of legal affairs. This makes her the first ever Caymanian attorney to be appointed as a Deputy Solicitor General. So congrats to her. She's been on the job for 14 years, working as a public sector attorney after being called to the bar. So
awesome.
Yeah, good news. Congratulations. And I think the entire time she actually has worked for government as well. So, fitting right in. And we also have another Caymanian first, another woman. First Caymanian and female senior veterinary officer has been appointed. So congratulations also to Dr. Samantha Dorman, who was appointed acting senior veterinary officer earlier this month. And again, that makes her both the first Caymanian and the first female to take up that position. And she's been employed with as a veterinary officer with the Department of Agriculture for 9 years and earned her veterinary degree from a university in New Zealand back in 2012. So congrats to both of those young ladies making us proud. Cayman continues to make news regionally in Jamaica as the Jamaican Constabulary Force, JCF, issued a statement saying that, one of the most dangerous men, wanted criminals in St. Catherine, Jamaica, was arrested with the Cayman Islands after an operation. His proper name is Rudolph Shaw, 30 years old, otherwise known as Boxer or Boxa. Boxa is wanted in connection with multiple murders and several incidents of shootings in St. Catherine. And they say again that he's also connected to a recent flare-up in Spanish Town. So the only question that people have here is how quickly can we get rid of him and send him back?
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff. But those are your news headlines for today.
All right, Sandy, catch your show right now on Bobo 89.1 FM. We'll see you tomorrow here on Kiss FM for Friday headlines.
Friday, yeah.
Friday.
Awesome.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right, have a good one.
All right, our segment.
All right, folks. Adjust my camera just a tad bit. There we go. I heard him asking if this is a new mic. I'm like, no, this is the same mic. It's just that I think because the camera is adjusted a little bit, it's just the mic is more in the photo, in the view. All right, good morning, folks. About 15 seconds before I'm going to hit that live button over in Bobo. Good morning, everybody. 10 seconds. Let me send out the links to everybody in the WhatsApp.
Peppermint, sorrel, ginger, beaver grass, or English. Get it ready. Your morning tea just got hotter.
Ooh, honey child.
On the cold, hard truth. Bobo 89.1 and Cayman's #1 talk show are bringing you morning talk like no one else. Monday Rewind, Impact Wednesdays, Caribbean Connections, and much more. Don't miss a beat with what's happening in the local community. Just keep sipping your tea.
What a mess.
Here's your host, live and direct from the Cayman Islands, Sandy Hill.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is July the 14th. Oh my gosh. Where's the time going? July has just gone by so quickly. I cannot believe it. Happy Monday to all of our listeners, YouTube, Facebook, Bobo, every quadrant of the world. We got people all over the world listening to us. I was so impressed because I think yesterday was the first time that someone acknowledged listening all the way in. Where was it again? Southern Africa. So that was pretty cool, right? So he was the first time listening, maybe we're trending some more on Facebook. I don't know. So good morning to Stephen, who's joining us from the UK. Caymanian lives abroad. We have a lot of Caymanians who have made that trip, made the journey to try something new and different. I always say to myself, and I stand by this position as someone who's lived overseas for 15 years, every single Caymanian, I think, should move overseas and live somewhere else at some point in their lives. It just really, um, you know, broadens your horizon. And sometimes it makes you more appreciative, in fact, of what you have here. So, yeah, go and taste, taste that tea from over the ocean and somewhere else, and then see what life is all about. I was reading a headline this morning about New York having some of the highest rent right now, where the average rent in New York is actually $5,000 a month. And there's a lot of people in New York who don't make that kind of money. Like, I'm just thinking, wow, that is really crazy. But that's the average rent, $5,000 a month. And what you get for $5,000 a month, everything is so relative. So I know here in Cayman, we complain about pricing, and I'm not saying that we're the cheapest place in the world, but normally you get a decent place for that kind of money. I mean, at least right now. Times are changing. And I want to talk about, someone actually sent me, tomorrow we're going to talk about some rental issues. We're going to talk about bad landlords, bad tenants, and the whole mix in between. But some landlords are honestly pretty crazy because, they're increasing the rent on their properties right now at a substantial percentage. It doesn't make any logical sense. But when you have landlords who really shouldn't be landlords, they don't do anything with any degree of logic. So we're going to talk about some of that, because I think tenants need to start considering how they can best protect themselves. You know, I mean, the government isn't doing much about the tenancy law, which is something I think they really do need to do something about. But there's absolutely little to no protection for people who are renters. And so this is unfortunate, because what it means is that you are at the mercy of some pretty despicable landlords, because some of them are just all about that money, and they do anything, and because they know people are desperate and people, want a place to rent, they kind of feel like they can do anything and their place will always get rented. But don't worry, I think that we need to start outing them in a way, and to really ensure that people are a little bit more aware of what they can do. Because there are some options out there that are available to you, but most people don't know what the options are. They don't understand even the court process. I saw someone a couple days ago here, I think it was Louise Brown, talking about, we need a small claims court. We have a small claims court. It's just one of those things that I feel like a lot of people don't know anything about. But small claims, it's not called small claims court necessarily in this jurisdiction. It's called summary court, but it's the exact same thing. And you can take a case to summary court yourself and sue people and get your money back. So I feel like we need to have a lesson in how you need to do that, because when things pop off, you don't always have the resources to hire an attorney, right? And it's for a little bit of money. It doesn't make any sense. So good morning to Stephen. Good morning, Natasha. So good to see you. Scott's got it locked here. Good morning, Scott. So I don't know if you missed it yesterday, Scott, but we were talking about as soon as the new boards arrive, which I'm told they're either on island waiting to be cleared or they're en route, but I feel like they're on island now. So as soon as they come, and probably this weekend, I'll have an opportunity to get them all set up and everything. We will be going on the road, and one of the places that we'll be doing a live show from is right there at Waffle Monkey. So you can get your coffee, your cold brew. I'm probably going to be sitting there eating a waffle, knowing me. And we're going to be streaming, and you guys can pop in. You can say hi to everybody. You'll be on the live stream. So that's going to be super fun. Jared says that he wants to come back home. Aw, I feel you. So I'm like looking forward to the remote shows, because I think they can be so much fun to just have people pop in. And we can talk about, like, take the show literally on the road and find out what's on your mind. So Debbie, good morning. So good to see you. Miss Livia's here. Hello, Siobhan. She says she's loving my top. Thank you, darling. This one, I feel like this one was gifted to me. Big shout out to KK. I think she went during COVID lockdown on one of her trips and she picked up a few tops to me. And I kind of feel like this is actually one of those where she was like, oh, this kind of looks like something Sandy would wear. All right. Steven says something weird is happening with your voice because it becomes deeper randomly. Not sure if it's just me. I don't know. Y'all have to tell me because I can't hear the feed that comes out on the other end. So I'm listening to myself with headsets, but I'm listening to the board. So I always sound perfect when I'm listening to myself. So I don't know. Sometimes, Stephen, what I find, especially if you're listening on Facebook, you simply refresh the feed, like something goes wonky in Facebook. And if you just close it out and reopen it, then it's normally good. Tony, good morning from Pennsylvania. Hey, Pennsylvania. Nice. Perla, so good to see you. Julian is here. The Matrix said the people of Sri Lanka can teach Caymanians a thing or two about how to collectively deal with the political class that runs a country for the benefit of the rich. Yes, well, I mean, what they're doing in Sri Lanka, the real question is how effective or not is it going to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. They have stormed the presidential palace. But what is that going to do? I mean, the guy has ran off. All right, so they've lost the president. Who are they going to get that's probably going to be any better than what they had? And to be quite honest, Matrix, the issues that Sri Lanka is facing, like the rest of the world, high inflation. I saw yesterday that Canada was trying to do something about the high inflation, and then they were making one of the biggest adjustments to their interest rate and stuff that they've ever had to do. But yeah, I mean, how I don't even know. What does the world do right now when everybody in the world is in the exact same situation? It is just, tipsy-turvy, kind of all over the place. So I'm not sure that anything that they're doing, including the protesting, is going to be much good. For the first time ever, did you guys read on CMR yesterday that the US dollar and the euro are actually on equal footing for the first time in like 2 decades, which is unheard of? And they say that this is good for US importers, but bad for exporters. So it's like, it's always something, right? One person gains on this end, somebody else loses. So this is a pretty crazy situation. If you haven't seen it, it's trending all over the news. And so again, this is a result of Europe grappling with growing recession fears and the fallout from the Russian war in Ukraine, which continues to linger on. I think we're like, 5 months now into war that Russia thought was going to last all of 2 weeks. So pretty crazy, but we can talk about some of those financial things a bit later on. So we do have a guest who's going to be joining us here shortly. I do see that you've just popped into the studio. So let me just finish saying good morning, and then we're going to introduce our guest. You guys want to tell your friends to tune in right now, because this is one of those things, folks, where we talk about rental scammers, immigration scammers, there are all sorts of scammers out there. And people, when we talk about business, people are getting tired. Businesses are being on the short end of the stick and being constantly told, oh, well, you need to do this with your pricing and this with your customer service. And sometimes they are struggling to make ends meet because of really bad customers. And we're going to talk about, and we have a guest on this morning who's going to share his experiences with us. So Lady Welcome, good morning to you. Lady Welcome says we need protection on gas too. Our gas prices always been high before the war and inflation. Well, that's what OffReg is there for. So I know that OffReg has been on the program before and they've explained this, but you got to explain something to people like 10, 20 times before people actually hear it, like properly hear it, and then it sinks in. So OffReg gets the financial information from the gas suppliers, right? And they know what they're buying it at, and they know what they're marking it up at as well. So here's the thing to know. We will never know the exact margin because that's proprietary, I guess, business sensitive information. But OffReg monitors it to make sure it's a fair, quote unquote, fair markup. So I think what that means for us is the cost of getting fuel to the Cayman Islands isn't as cheap as you think, which means that when you see the gas prices at the pump and you think, oh, these gas companies are making all kind of money, they're actually not. And I've spoken to multiple owners and they're like, Sandy, what we make money on isn't actually the gas. I mean, yeah, there's like maybe a couple cents or whatever, but what we actually make money on is when you go into the convenience store and all the other stuff you do, like you buy a sandwich, you buy chips, and you buy those types of goods. It's traditionally been those things that they can mark out with a higher percentage. And it's like a convenience thing, right? If it's midnight and you want a pizza, there are no other options but the gas station pizza. You know, you've been out drinking, and so you pop in to the gas station and you buy yourself a pizza. So it's actually those things that they make money on, but people have this misconception. It really is a misconception, Lady Welcome, that the money the gas station owners make and they're, you know, becoming millionaires off of the fuel, and that's actually not the price. A lot of that is the pass-through of not just the cost of the fuel, but actually getting it here in the tanks, you know, to the Cayman Islands, which is not necessarily a cheap ordeal. So I think that that message needs to continually be hammered through by OffReg. Anybody from OffReg listening this morning, do some PR, get on it, because people simply do not understand that you all do have a role in this and that you are monitoring those rates. And it's not a situation where the gas companies and the gas stations can just mark it up to whatever they want. It's the same thing with CUC. Everybody's like, oh my God, look at the CUC bill. But yet the majority of your CUC bill is the pass-through fuel cost. And again, it is a pass-through. CUC does not mark up your fuel charge at all. So that's another bit of misinformation. It's also a bit of a misinformation about how much duty is attached to it. So everybody's like, well, government, it's government's fault because government, you know, attaches all this duty. And again, it's like cents on the gallon. It's not that much. And if government removed the duty, you'd be saving an average of $17 on your CUC bill. How does that make any sense? You would still be crying. So these are messages, I think, that are factual messages, but you know, the PR teams responsible for all these organizations, whether it's OffReg, the oil companies, the gas companies, even government, needs to continually pump out this information by way of PSAs or whatever on formats where you guys are actually listening and try to explain it to you in little sound bites so that you get it. Good morning, Wee Wee. Good morning, Melinda. So good to see you. Melinda says, good to know. Omeria, good morning. She said, I got it locked, Sandy. Pleasant, good morning. And my tea is finished. Your tea is finished already? Girl, get you another cup, because what we have coming up next, you're going to need something a little bit stronger. Put something in the tea. Miss Morna, good morning to you. So nice to see you. Don't worry, sir. I see you. We soon come to you. Let me see here now. We've got Perla. We'll talk about landlords mañana. So hold that thought for mañana. Debbie, so good to see you. Says, where are you living now? I'm getting ready to leave as well. Who are you asking? Stephen? Where's Stephen living? So you're getting ready to leave Cayman, I'm assuming is what you're saying. And like I said, I mean, listen, go try it. Nothing beats a trial but a failure, as Caymanians always say. And sometimes the grass is greener on the other side of the pond, depending on what it is that you're looking for. And then sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you leave and you end up coming right back home. Like I've been shocked and surprised over the years, the numerous amount of Caymanians that have left and they've been bragging about how wonderful life is in the UK and how much they love it. And then next thing I know, they're right back here. And I'm like, why are you back? Because, you know, the cost of living hasn't gone down. So, yeah. So, you know, you try it. For sure, there will always be some things. It's just economics, folks. There will always be some things that are going to be cheaper depending on where you live in other jurisdictions. The average cost of rent in the Cayman Islands is what? I don't even know. Can we get someone over at the statistics office to provide that information? I just told y'all the average cost of rent right now in New York is $5,000 a month. So say, for example, you're moving to New York. And right now you're paying, I don't know, if you're in a one bedroom, say you're paying $1,500, $2,500. You might have a mortgage in Cayman for $2,500, but you also have a 4,000 square foot house or a 2,500 square foot house and a yard and all this kind of stuff, that $5,000 rent in New York normally isn't going to even get you a yard. Like that's not that kind of property. That's probably gonna be like $10,000-15,000 a month, right? So you're in the city in little cramped quarters. The size of a closet is your entire apartment. Everything is relative, so I don't know. But go try it and then you let us know, because when people go a foreign initially, they're always singing the praises like, oh, I just went to Walmart and it's so cheap and da. I'm like, okay, keep living that life, because you always go with a little bit of extra money in the early days, and then soon that money starts to run out and you got to either start working or whatever. What I find interesting is a lot of people who go overseas are actually still getting money from Cayman. So they're getting the benefit of the Cayman economy, whether they own rental property here, that they're able to rent out at that same premium price that they're complaining about. It's amazing because tenants complain, and then it's the landlords who are oftentimes Caymanians who are benefiting from, these prices, and they can go overseas and use that as a salary replacement and live a retired life and, afford to pay $5,000 a month in a New York closet, because here they're charging people $10,000 a month for rent. So, but Cayman still has the benefit of providing them with some degree of income, even when they travel overseas. Yes, the economies of scale. If you live in a city with millions of people, of course, there are going to be some things that are cheaper. And yet, some things are still crazy in terms of pricing, even overseas. Like food-wise, I'm still surprised sometimes at what stuff is costing in the States for food, given their population size. I'm like, why am I paying this? I paid this in Cayman. KK says the Facebook feed is good, so Stephen, just refresh. Selvin says we're going to be going on the road. Woohoo! Yes, sir. Miss Vernita, good morning. Selvin says, I bet you Sri Lanka's runaway president gone with a bag of money. Well, he was, I'm sure, very, very happy just to get out with his life. I don't know if he was able to take any money or not. Thank you so much, Carol. She's sharing an article with us about the archaic scenes, Sri Lankan lesson. We'll talk about Sri Lanka later, because I have a couple things I want to tell you all about Sri Lanka. As you know, my first love was from Sri Lanka, so I know a little bit of the inside scoop from back in the day. We'll talk about Canton Closing. Good morning, Carmelie. Yes, we'll talk about the other man who's on the loose that the police really haven't said anything about, which is so bizarre. Jasara, thank you. So Lady Welcome said, okay, thanks. I didn't know this. Can't win for losing. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you don't know, you don't know. And again, this is why I think the relevant agencies, it's their responsibility to inform the people. But, we take it on because sometimes nobody else is doing it. All right, let's get this show on the road. Irvelyn, Jasara, Barbara, wishing everyone a beautiful day. Oh, Stephen is in the UK. I don't know what part of the UK exactly, but he's somewhere in the UK. Morning, Darlene. KK says they brag about the good life, but can't maintain it. They're expecting to live in government over in England, especially. Yes, I'm ashamed at the number of Caymanians who have gone overseas, and the way they're able to live this fabulous life is because they're getting the equivalent of the NAU, whatever it's called, national, whatever, in the UK. So they're basically living off the government with these bag of children. And, because they can get a decent little apartment on the back of the government, maybe because they have so many people in the UK applying, they don't even have time to vet applications, or, you claim that you come from the Cayman Islands and you're so poor. I'm ashamed that Caymanians do that. I really, really am. And I'm sure people in the UK in those offices, when they're filling out the paperwork and getting your check ready to deposit, they're like, oh, these people are from the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands must be really poor and in dire straits. Here we are thinking that they were a richer country, and we're all trying to run there because of how great their country is. And it turns out they're coming here to take advantage of freeness. It's kind of a shame. And a lot of the people who go, I'm not saying everybody falls in this category, but a lot of the people who go are just those very people who have dried up their opportunities of taking advantage of the system here. Like NAU was looking at the application a little bit too closely. So Evelyn is well, she was in the UK. She's in Europe at the moment. And she says the UK is not cheap. Trust me. Howard said most companies during COVID made more money. Profits are higher than ever and wages lower than ever. I don't know if that's factually correct, Howard. Not during COVID. Businesses were shutting down left, right, and center. Oh, it's Miss Sue's birthday today. Oh my gosh, where's my birthday song? Hold on now. Happy birthday, Miss Sue. Hold on. Yes. Happy birthday. She didn't even tell us. She's so modest. Happy birthday to Miss Sue McLaughlin. How young are you? Don't tell us. My daughter likes to go around asking people their age. I'm trying to tell her that that's not a very nice thing to do. I said, some people don't want to tell you their ages, honey. She's only 5. She's 6 and a couple weeks on the 9th of next month. So she's like, well, I'm sick. She says she's 5 3/4. And I said, yes, but not everybody wants to tell you their age. It's okay when you're 5, I guess. Damien says they found some cash in the Sri Lankan palace and they turned it in. Child, please, they were swimming in the pool, taking selfies. I saw one guy playing the palace piano. The palace does look a bit opulent, to be honest. And I thought to myself, I guess that's probably the way it's always been in Sri Lanka. But it is interesting that the thing that they did is try to enjoy that life. Even if it was just for a fleeting moment, they were like, we're going to enjoy a presidential style life. We're going to play a piano. I feel like some of those people probably have never been in a pool before. Like maybe they bathe in the river or the ocean or whatever in Sri Lanka. But now they're like, yeah, we are swimming in this pool, this presidential pool. And so, 5 minutes of pretending that you can stay in a palace forever, I guess was okay. And I'm sure the government will be taking it back. Tracy says that you can buy New Zealand cheese in Cayman cheaper than we pay for it in New Zealand. What? Really? Why is that? How does that work? Sometimes when you produce stuff, it's normally cheaper where it's produced. Good morning to Miss Lucille. She woke up with a headache. I hope you're feeling better. Nikki, morning. Good morning to Kimmy. Miss Sue says some of these landlords here get away with murder. Let's talk about it tomorrow, Miss Sue. We're going to make tomorrow Landlord Day. So yes, happy birthday to Miss Sue. All right, so we've got a young man who's on the phone with us. And oh gosh, Howard, Amazon is an anomaly. We're going to talk about that later on. But you can't say because Amazon made money that other businesses during COVID made money. Amazon made money because y'all were in lockdown and you had nothing else to do but go on Amazon. All the other businesses that are brick and mortar businesses that you have to walk into to spend money, they took a loss. So Amazon already had their online game on fleek. So that's why they were able to make money. Anybody shopped yesterday? I did a little bit of shopping last night for Amazon Prime. My husband's like, nope, Amazon has already gotten enough of my money. That was his philosophy. But I bought a couple things for my daughter. She needs some swimsuits and some little clothes and stuff. So I got a couple things for her. Nothing really for me, now that I'm thinking about it. And then I picked up a few things for a client, and that was it. So Dion says, your daughter's a Leo like me. Hello. I'm a Leo too. Leo's in the house. My birthday is the 18th of next month, and hers is the 9th. So yes, we're going to be celebrating my birthday here soon on the show. So Tracy says, because exports are worth more than looking after their own. Oh God, these things are complicated. All right. Let us get started here. So let me pull up a few things. So we have a young man who's running a business. We're going to bring him in here. And he says that, people are taking advantage of him. And I downright believe it. Because, unfortunately, I get a lot of complaints from business owners. You guys saw me post something about a young man. His name is Jordan on Facebook the other day, kind of saying, hey, Jordan, Mr. Gordon is looking for you. Please contact Mr. Gordon and sort it out. You see, consumer protection, we don't have much of it. but you have to recognize that it goes both ways, right? So you can't be the consumer and think that you can take advantage of businesses and that doesn't impact and hurt all of us, because it actually does. And it hurts us because when companies, whether it's the grocery store or other clothing retail stores or even car leasing companies, and as in this case, when they end up losing money, we feel that because listen, ultimately the company is not in the business of losing money, or they're going to have to shut down. So they will find ways to compensate for their losses, which often means either hiring additional security or all these other things that really increase the price to the consumer. And it's the good consumers like you and I who feel the pinch of these additional charges, which is quite unfortunate. So you can't have your cake and eat it too, as Aunt Lottie used to say. But I reckon that a lot of people try to do that, right? They want it both ways. So y'all want to complain about companies and you want to put companies on blast. You're messaging me every single day. Somebody messaged me about a restaurant yesterday. Oh, I can't believe that this restaurant, look, they only gave me 4 shrimp and they charged me extra for the mashed potatoes, and the mashed potatoes were supposed to be included. And I said, wow, this is crazy. So the interesting thing about that is we hear your complaints, and sometimes we will post it or we'll reach out to the company. But you can't be the type of consumer that walks around not paying your bills, renting cars from people that you damage, and then you don't pay for it or you don't want to return the vehicle. And so we're going to hear from this gentleman today from Empire Car Leasing. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
My dear, what a mess. How are you?
I am doing well enough. This is something I need to get out there. I need to get across.
Yes. So tell us a little bit, right? You own a business, a car leasing business, Empire Car Leasing. How many, let's get an idea about your business. How many cars do you have?
I have just over 30 vehicles.
Okay. So I would say that's probably medium-sized little car business for Cayman.
Yes.
When did you start this business? How long have you been in business?
From about 2018, yes.
Okay. All right. So good little 4 years going into 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. So you come up with this idea. You think, all right, I can invest in vehicles, get a little rental business here going. You try to do the right thing. You're paying your business license fees.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yes. All right. You got to have insurance for your vehicles.
Yes,
because you got to make sure that they're, safe on the roads. I'm sure you've got expenses in terms of mechanical expenses for the vehicles.
A whole lot of expenses, a lot of overheads. In regards to where licensing is concerned, insurance is concerned, whatever the general public pay for licensing, we pay double for green plates and stuff like that. But one of the problem we're faced with is it's very common these days where a lot of renters start to become more and more delinquent as the day goes by, because most of these people start to realize now the police will tell you, oh, it's a civil matter. So they're catching on to that, and the court process go and everything. But some of these people blatantly tell you, like I have cases, more than one cases before, hey, go let your insurance pay for that. I'm not paying. While, and again, 3/4 of these insurance only offering us third-party insurance. Not like we wouldn't, and of course, third party is already a harm and a leg. And not like we wouldn't be willing to say get good coverage, but that's all we're offered,
Right.
So the thing is now is when these people realize these things and they give a fake address sometimes, you can't do all the due diligence to say, you know what? Give me proof of address in the form. These people are very tricky.
Oh my gosh.
I remember one case I got an address when I tracked down and find the address. It was an abandoned building.
Are you kidding me?
You could see that.
So you can't even, let me understand what you're saying. You can't, somebody walks into your business to rent a car. You can't even trust them
Not
the
a bit.
information they're going to give you is legitimate information. Oh my
There we
God.
go. There we go.
Wow. That's crazy.
It is. It is.
So I'm beginning to wonder, is the business worth it?
Exactly. Right now, as we speak, I am looking forward to downsize. I'm going over venturing into something else because this, when I tell you this is a serious headache that you have to deal with every day, and then because I realize after COVID, everybody maybe get some pension money or some money they had saving, adding savings, so they turn to this is one of the easiest way out because a lot of insurance now start to accept people with 2, 3, 4 cars, so you find a lot more car rentals coming on board. So with that being said, a lot of people now, especially the delinquent ones, they have a lot of options. With that again, it causes us to have to go down on, or let's say, our deposit that we ask for, because okay, if I say $500 deposit, okay, there's 10 other guys charging $100 deposit. So that's gonna kill my business. So I have to now compete with 50 other car rentals who charge $100 or $200 deposit, and to survive, just to survive. And it's not cheaper because if I'm not doing well enough, it's not cheaper to rent to license these cars or to insure these cars. Overheads remain the same. But like I'm saying now, you find these people, give fake address. Okay, it's bad enough they can't even give a fake name because it's on maybe their driver's license and stuff like that. So I get a good name, but then when you try to find these people on Facebook, Instagram, wherever, they're nowhere to be found because of course they know what they're doing. The address they like this morning, that this particular renter in question, I have about 3-4 of them pending. But this one in question, I personally went. I went this morning to that address that person gave, and that address was nowhere to be found.
Wow.
Oh, see, somebody just messaged me if it's that person I rent that car.
So let's dissect this a little bit, right? So you have some people who it's almost like this is a constant scam for them. So they're going from one rental company to the next rental company, getting access to vehicles, giving you false information, which that has to be some sort of a crime. I mean, I don't care what the police are saying about, this is a civil matter.
Here we go.
How can you give, people fake information? That's fraud.
That's fraud.
The second you start doing that becomes a fraudulent situation, right? So you have that happening, and then other companies may not even know themselves that they're advertently part of the problem because they're offering lower deposits, which then they're going to get taken for as well. And this person just keeps going from one rental company to the next.
There we go. So what I have to do is start to make up a block list.
Yes.
And but then it's so much of these people circulating around. I have cases where I rent people that I thought was old enough or reputable enough, and then my car was written off, and it was they claimed that it was taken out by their young child or something of that sort, and I wasn't driving, so I'm not paying, stuff like that. While you're the one on the contract, you're the one who signed that. I am not at your home to protect my key to say it's not supposed to go in Tom or Mary or Sue hands, So sometimes I rent Tony a car, for example, and when I look, I see Mary on the road driving that car, and it's on my contract because another thing I realize, these people do not respect contracts. They do not, and here's a real problem with me and the police and this kind of situation now. When you go to the police, they say it's a civil matter, so you must take it to the court. But then, how do you first find these people to even, get your car back so you could even analyze your car to take it to any court through any court system? So as you pop up at the station, it's a civil matter, we can help, whatever. But then when these people out there 2-3 weeks, a month, 2 months having your car, I have heard of situation where a friend, a business friend of mine, 3 months, a delinquent client has his car for.
So So these people are actually renting your vehicles and they're keeping them for longer than, because how does it work? I walk in and I say, okay, I need a car for a week, right? And you say, okay, Miss Sandra, the car is going to be $500 for the week. I give you a deposit. Do I pay up front the $500?
Yes, you do. But
Okay.
once that week is expired, then they go missing.
Oh my God. And they keep your car?
And they keep your car. And that for me, I would
That's
consider
theft.
that's stealing.
Of course.
That is stealing. But
That is theft.
when you mention that to the police, no, we can't consider that stealing because XYZ.
Because of what? It's theft.
When you reach out to these people, phones off, maybe phones disconnected or phones not answering, the address is already fake. So it's just a matter of a cat and mouse game. The last time I reached out to a particular company to have some trackers added to my vehicle, that was basically pointless because I was quoted $300 per vehicle and subscription fee monthly.
Why didn't you just get the Amazon trackers that people been using to track their girlfriends and stuff? The Apple what do they call the Apple trackers? They're a lot cheaper.
No, yeah, they're cheaper. When you read the stats on those, then you realize those stop working after a month, or the battery die. And if these people are gonna keep your car,
keeping the car, right, for a longer period of time.
Yeah,
my God. So this seems like a real mess for the car rental companies. Now, what percentage of your client are local people? Do you have a lot of local people renting from you? Because obviously these are local people that are doing this.
Honestly, like 95% of my clientele is local.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that locals were into renting cars like this. Like it'd be cheaper for them just to buy a car.
No, a lot of these people don't prioritize these things. They, that okay, I can cough up $175. I could rent a car and I could just disappear.
So Damien says that Cayman needs a people's court. Do you ask them for proof of address? Because he says ask them for utility bill. But a lot of people don't have a bill in their name either.
Exactly. And I mean, you want to know that, okay, renting a car it should be a 10-minute max or 5 minutes process. No. Yeah. Sometimes it's that you're in a dire situation, your car break down, sometimes whatever time your car, and you need a car right away. Sometimes, you don't, a lot of people, 9 out of 10 people don't have a bill in their name. Even if sometimes, you name the situation. So it's a matter of just people should be honest and try to live upstanding. And I find that is deteriorating a whole lot these days where nobody can be trusted. It's just a fake world we're living in, and the people who try to survive legally and honestly, they're being taken advantage of. And I remember a guy disappeared with one of my cars, similar situation, and it was when another popular website blast that customer. The car was returned within 3 hours. So we have to now turn to all different mediums to combat the situation.
Yeah.
I personally this morning got up out of my bed. I was like, okay, if this person is gonna be home, they're gonna be home this kind of wee hours of the morning. Got up out of my bed like a police officer. Went to that address that they gave me. Car was nowhere in sight. And it's very common. There's this other guy. My age limit is 25 and older.
Yeah.
This guy, he's 25. He actually worked right next to my office. So I'm like, you know what? To be honest, I don't really entertain even these young renters. But, you can't be prejudiced. It's business. So here am I. So let me try with this young guy. First of all, he called me out of my sleep one night. Oh, somebody run him off the road and this and that. And he hit out the back glass. I'm like, okay, you know what? Call the police first. Give them a plate number for that other party who ran you off the road. Get the police involved. Then you send me pictures and then I could come to where you are and analyze the situation. So the moment I mentioned get the police involved, he said, he dim a little bit. Then he said, okay. And then he called back about 10 minutes after. About 10 minutes after, and was like, you know what? Let me be honest with you. I can't lie to you and whatever.
Oh my God. I love when people do that. They just told you a lie. And then they say, "Oh, let me be honest with you." It's like, okay, try it on for size, see how
You know?
honesty fits.
So now,
Oh my God.
here's this young man now telling me, okay, you know what happened? I was, coming out of a jam in a lane, and I bumped in a wall, damaged the back glass. It hit the back glass out completely.
Mm.
So now, the back glass to be replaced, the cost of the back glass is $500 off the bat.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
To install it's about another $200 or so to install it. Then the bumper got scratched, so that's another $250. So in all, about, let's say, $1,200 cover the whole damage. We spoke about setting up a payment plan, and just being lenient, and this is the way how the game works, how the business works. So I set up a payment plan, try to be lenient. Then the other morning, the guy wake up. I have the voice notes, I have everything in my phone. This guy called me, message me to say that, listen, I'm not going to be able to pay for this damage. I have too much bills on me, and sorry, I can't pay. And do what you have to do. I'm like, wow. But, I mean, it's sad to say that when the police can't help or won't help, then the court system is so drawn out.
Mm-hmm.
Then these people running wild. It's sad to say, you know what this is going to resort to? This is going to resort to violence. Whether the business owner being at a loss, when it resorts to, or the customer, that somebody's going to get hurt in these cases. Because you cannot go around damaging people property, people investment. When I got my partner draw my pension money, I took it and did something positive by investing. When you maybe went to Miami or somewhere, or to shopping. So now I made that sacrifice, and now here you are trying to break me down. So, I mean, it's sad. And then if it was a one-off or two-off case, I could give and take, or I could, what? But this is why I'm looking to venture out of this, because mind you, it's a lucrative business to say that, but when you have 30-something cars and you have 7 or 10 people being delinquent, that's now starting to hurt the business. And the funny enough, these people come on board all decent, all dressed up, all well-spoken sometimes. This is the true definition of wolf in sheep clothing. And this is my voice. I really woke up this morning with all intentions of voicing my opinion in your program, because I have a lot of other friends who is in this business, and everybody is feeling this in this very same manner. Maybe they're not getting their voice out there, but I'm speaking on behalf of all these people and myself.
Wow. Well, what you're saying this morning is resonating with people. Let's read a few of the comments. Good morning to Catherine. Damien says, job letter, current utility bill, minimum age, bank account statement, valid ID, says KK. But you're doing pretty much all this stuff, and these people are still managing to defraud you.
Oh, yes. I mean, you can't do all, to be honest with you. Because let's say, you need a car to go to a function this evening, and your car break down an hour before or two, How do you get a bank reference, or how do you get, when you don't have a utility bill in your name, These are things. And then with the fierce competition, when you call a company and say, okay, $500 for my deposit, just to fend off some of these delinquent people, they have 100 other people charging $100. So then that's also going to hurt your business, because you're going to leave with all your cars standing,
Oh my gosh. So KK says, if you give the people incorrect information, you'll be in trouble. The same should go for this business. Binks says the only way to solve this is to put trackers in all of your cars. Hornsby, Miss Aline says, real scammer. Yes, scammer them about the place, Joe. Damien says, report it stolen, but he's saying the police don't help him when he does.
They say it can't be reported as stolen because whatever. I mean, but that to me,
I'd love to hear their explanation, because I think they need to be educated. But KK also says the civil matter BS grieves me. Tracy says, I used to own a rental car company. If not brought back by due date, it's a stolen car. That makes sense, but the police here don't seem to know what's going on. Jonathan says, I would insist that they pay the insurance. Well, Jonathan, you can insist all you want, but you have to find a way to enforce it. So Michael is saying the exact same thing. Report the car stolen. I took a drive away across the U.S. on the paperwork in bold red lettering says if it's not returned, it will be reported stolen to the FBI.
Which sometimes, listen, this is things I communicated with people before. Say, okay, if this or that happens, I will have to report it. And funny enough, these people just don't care. Because they know that, okay, you go to the police says
the police aren't going to be of much help. Sabrina is wondering if there's any kind of systems that you can use to actually lock the vehicle. But again, I'm sure they exist, but this would be at great expense to you, is what you're saying.
Exactly. And that does defeat the whole purpose of you're going to pay, let's say, or close to 20,000 to wire your car with all your cars with tracker. But then, I mean, the sad reality is, or the fact of the matter is, on any yearly basis, you honestly, I'm speaking from a truthful place, you honestly don't lose $10,000, but even though it hurts somewhat, especially if you should lose your entire car, you will hurt. But you are going to be paying close to $20,000 to do your fleet, and then subscription fee per month. It just doesn't balance out. You know, to pay.
So it doesn't make money sense.
It don't make money sense. And then to pay your rent and for and to pay double to the government for just the rental
licensing,
licensing and stuff. And I ensure all my cars are always in good driving condition, always straight with the government. You name it, I take care of things on my hand. So when I reach out to the very same government I'm paying, and hello, no help. And it's sad that even with paying this kind of, even with COVID, when COVID hit, everybody was giving a break. Everybody was, half price for this or subsidized rent, you name it. We are supposed to pay the same money for licensing.
So Tracy says, don't rent to them unless you have a credit card and can get pre-approved authorization of $2,000. Damien says, so many laws here need to be revamped or introduced. Denny says, morning, please ask the police to explain why they feel that it's not a crime. We will definitely reach out to them because I'm a bit confused myself. And I think this is one of those situations where it's the little officer in the street who keeps saying this because they themselves simply do not understand the law, which is unfortunate. So we'll see if we can get some details on that. Sabrina says, no renting is easier, no car troubles or insurance. Amelia says, make them put down double the amount and then make them take you to their real home and visit them when they're not watching. So that's the problem with all of those types of suggestions, is that's a lot of work on you. I'm sure you have staff, but how do you listen to do all of that just to rent someone a car?
There we go.
Like you said, it doesn't even make any sense to be in the business. Like when you have to take out surveillance on someone who's renting your cars and follow them home. It's at that point that you might go, this just isn't worth it.
And then some of these people live, my office is in town, and some of these people live all the way in East End. Some of these people live all the way in West Bay. And funny enough, most of the times is either East Enders or West Bayers give the most problem. That's sad to say, I'm not stigmatizing, but it's the harsh reality. Because these people live in some far corner around some places, if they live there, and when you visit these places, they're nowhere to be found. And then you have to now maybe take one of your worker, or you yourself have to go and find these places, and that's another double shift you're on there. So it's just.
So Karina says, I don't get it. How can theft be a civil matter? Oh my God. Woo. So Karen says, do you have a second key for the car? So he might have a second key, but first he has to find the car.
Find the car. There we go.
You know what is so interesting? The other day when we had that fatal shooting there in Bodden Town, that young man was actually driving a rental. I hope that wasn't one of your cars, Joe. But it occurred to me that a lot of criminal elements also are renting these cars so that they can be hiding up from the police. So the police should probably take more of an interest in this because they might help find some of their most wanted people, because they're out there They're out there renting cars.
And oftentimes
They change cars often to kind of keep on the down low.
there we go. Because because another thing is sometimes you brand your vehicles with your company logo and all that. Sometimes you these people take off your brand or ask that they get a private car with tint and with no. And once I see all those, I know that's a red flag. So I don't normally entertain those kind of people. But it's sad that when you give them your car branded, sometimes these people remove your sticker and sometimes they put it back when they're returning the car. And that in itself is another breach.
Wow. Miss Darlene says his callers tell him the truth. Cayman has become a community that people cannot be trusted. Matrix says when he says locals, is that Caymanians or people who are on work permits? Because I'm aware of another company who have similar issues with their customers, but mostly work permit holders. I'm not so sure that it matters, but are you finding that most of the people are work permit holders or not?
Honestly, the sad reality is honestly speaking, I'm not being prejudiced. Hear me out. The honest truth is 95% of delinquent renters are native Caymanians. It's sad, but it's the truth. Because you know what happened? The work permit holders, they are very much more careful because they know that, if I hit immigration, they might get or go to their boss, they might lose their job or lose their work permit, or so they're on a thin line. So these people are honestly, you will have a little one or two here or there, but they are even easier to find because they are not, they auntie don't live in Eastern and their uncle live in West Bay and their cousin live in Windsor Park, so they could move around. These people sometimes have a little one room in Swamp or wherever, that's it. So you find less permit holder give these kind of problems. But these people know, okay, you're not getting deported going anywhere. You're not losing your work permit. No immigration will come after you. You name it. So they feel like they have the great freedom to go about and act in this kind of manner.
All right, we got a caller on the line. Just pause there 1 second for me. Good morning, caller.
No problem.
Good morning, guys. Tell the gentleman he needn't apologize when he got to talk about Caymanians who do wrong. We come from long generations of doing right. I'm not talking about nobody children because I got children of my own. I'm not talking about nobody family because I got family of my own. And if we thief in your cars day and night and you work to get your business up and running as maybe a sole proprietor or somebody in partnership with a small group of people, you need your money and you don't need no everyday thief to take your things. And you should try getting in contact with whomever is the representative of wherever you have your business or maybe your own representative wherever you live from. But you need some political impetus. You and the entire industry, locally owned, needs some impetus from the political class to help with your problem, because I see this as a big problem because poor man got fleet of 30 cars. That's not easy. Gotta pay insurance, gotta pay licensing, gotta do this and that, and then people just take your things. And I'm feeling here that it's young people mostly, and I hope it is young people mostly because I could really forgive them faster, sooner, and more thoroughly than I could really forgive people who are in an confirmed adult category, meaning like from your mid-20s.
Well, he said he doesn't. After that. But caller, he said he doesn't rent to anybody under 25. It's 25 enough.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. You don't have to apologize, sir. I'm a real Caymanian, and I feel no offense if somebody do you wrong and you talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about them. But that's what we got to do to bring them out of the darkness into the light, because nobody knew about I would say people like myself didn't know about the intricacies of the business and how far these people will go to be deviant. And thank you very much for bringing this to the light. Bye-bye.
All right, my dear. So quite a number of suggestions coming in this morning. So we have El Ray that says pay up front for rental plus secure at least $1,000 on their credit card. If they don't have that, then they can't afford to rent. I understand his point, but there might be people who don't have that, who can't afford to rent, and you'd be probably eliminating the good people as well as the bad in terms of, if I come in and I just want a car for a week, I might be able to afford the weekly rental. But if you say to me, you need the weekly rental plus $1,000, plus you need to have a credit card, maybe I don't have a credit card. Maybe I don't have an extra $1,000 to give you a hold as a deposit. So I think you start to recognize the difficulties and involved in this business. So Stephen says, Sandra, make these companies pay CMR and you post the driver details and car details to look out for. Oh Lord, there's a little side hustle.
And that makes sense. I believe me, because if I respect your medium in the sense where a lot of people will say negative things about you. Some positive things you do go unnoticed, and this is one of the things that you're doing that is positive, that is outlining the burning issues of this island, highlighting these criminal activities, and when it comes to the truth, your mouth have no filter, and that is good. You understand? And it's time that people recognize that, hey, what happened to being our brother's keeper? They came unkind. I mean, I think I'm one of the most lenient car renter on island.
Yes.
Once you exercise some discipline to it.
Yes.
I have people who owe me for 2 weeks, but it's the discipline surrounding it to call to say, you know what, I am in a jam this week. I've been renting for the last 2-3 weeks. I'll come and pay you Friday, or I'll come and pay you next week when I get paid. And that's understandable, because this is the way of the world right now. Everybody needs a break.
Yes.
So, but when you're going to
you're trying to help people, but they're looking to take advantage.
Exactly. So when you're going to go missing, not taking a call, not responding to a message, go missing on social media, you name it, fake address, that means you carve yourself out to be a criminal, and should as such be treated as one.
Right. So Hornsby says, spend money and retrofit the cars with a master power lock that can be activated on the due date to lock them out, and tracker to find it. So again, some advice in terms of technology. Shani says you may have to start giving less leniency. I like the idea of only taking credit cards as well. And a lot of people don't have credit cards. I'm personally not a person that believes in having a credit card, because I'm like, if I can't pay for it, then in cash, that means I can't afford it. Only recently have I acquired a business credit card, which is like for business purposes, but personally, I don't have a credit card. Damien says, how about if we start a people's court? That's a business idea. Is that possible? Damien, I don't know how we would organize that in terms of it having any real force. But listen, the bottom line is, I know Jared wants to jump in with a comment here, but the bottom line is CMR has an amazing presence on social media and beyond. I think for the last 28 days, we've had like 2 million people that we've reached just on our Facebook platform. That doesn't include Instagram or YouTube or anything else, right? So people pay attention and people listen. I'm just checking some of our stats here, and I'll tell you. 1.2 million in the last 28 days. It was not before that. We have over 68,227 followers. And so what I want scammers to know is, if y'all continue to scam people, we're going to continue to highlight you. It's as simple as that. Whether you're Garfield Rob of the world, by the way, he's still out there scamming people, just FYI. He's in court right now for scamming people over shutters, and he has changed his name. Speaking of scammers, the dude has changed his name, gotten a new phone number, and he only gives you a first name and asks that you pay him in cash. And he's still out there scamming people, although he's in criminal court for the same thing right now. Some people simply cannot help themselves. So, Jared, your comment before we go ahead and make our big reveal. Everybody get your second cup of coffee ready. Pour a little bit of wine or Hennessy or whatever in it, because we're going to name some names this morning. And the first young lady up, we're going to tell you all about her. Jared?
Yeah, so morning, Sandy. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So to the caller, do you take pictures of the driver's license before handing over the key? Because I would have posted the driver's license.
Yeah, man, we got all that stuff.
Yes.
Because I find it it's not really a good tenable situation when you have RCIPS telling you that, oh, it's a civil matter, when they're supposed to arrest people who do wrongful acts. And in the Penal Code 241 of the Cayman Islands, they have grounds. That's an arrestable offense. You can't be taking people's car and
Yeah. So Salvin says, will a credit system help where people can be reported and they have a personal credit score? There is a company here that for many, many years has sort of been doing that. And a lot of people hand over bad debt to them for the purposes of collecting it, but it's not something generally that has caught on extremely well. So I don't know, to be honest, if even from the perspective of the banks, if they call it's I think it's called the Cayman Islands Credit Bureau. I don't even know if they call them to see if this person has any delinquency or, I don't really know how well Selvin it works, but they've been around for many, many years actually. So Frederick says we need a court on TV like a Judge Judy. Let's do it, Judge Sandra.
Right about that.
Oh my gosh. So BlackBerry says about installing remote control systems. Yes, we have talked about that in GPS. He's saying that it's very, very costly to be able to do that. But I guess maybe that's going to be one of the costs of doing business here if you want to be in business. So, all right, let me just let's look at our first culprit this morning. So it's actually a young lady, which is kind of sad. So give us the details of this young lady. When did she rent this vehicle from you?
All right, let me pull up her information here. Okay, so
we got it here too, honey child. We can pull it up same time.
Okay, so we're talking about, and I'm proud to highlight this person because this person just, been under the radar for since last week Friday, and it's really a matter of people even worse than her. But I try to nip it in the bud before it reaches a week or 2 or 3 weeks. I've been calling her whether to extend or to return from last week Friday or rental expire, and we're entering into tomorrow 1 week or 8 days since then. No luck with that phone number she gave us. The address she gave us, nowhere to be found. So her name is Stephanie Tamara Bodden. I would like to anybody who knows her, and even to all the other car renters, please do not rent this young lady any more vehicles.
So she has her address as 23B Up the Hill Road in West Bay, and you're saying she's not at that address?
No, I went there personally this morning.
Wow. Does anybody up the Hill Road know her? When you were asking for her, did they seem like they're a family or that they knew who she was?
No, just how early I went, I didn't want to go and knock up anywhere. I mean, funny enough, I searched the entire avenue up, down, and back. And
so you went up the road, down the road,
up the hill, down the hill,
up the hill, down the hill, and around the hill.
Oh God! And then another thing, so here's somebody commenting. These people are renting for their siblings. People are renting, giving the cars to their young 20-year-olds, their 19-year-olds. You name it. All of this is happening, and that's also a breach. But we're talking about these people, and a strain from the topic, that's renting and just keeping the car outright, not answering, fake address to begin with. And this is the other guy I was making reference to. I am also proud to announce his name. I would hate for this to bring any commotion in terms of, violence.
Send me his, you can send me his on the WhatsApp so we can show everybody the picture because that might help.
Yeah.
So Anthony says, crime is a crime regardless of nationality. Arrest them. Lilith said, people are renting the cars for the younger people. Anthony agreed with her caller. So callers 936-2626 was the telephone number. Shani says, I like this caller. She is so sweet and she's right. Yeah, listen, if Caymanians are doing wrong, Caymanians do wrong. It don't make no difference. Miss Darlene says, what about getting the small businesses, the rental cars together and forming some type of a association?
That's a good point. I tried it with a few of my associates, and
yes,
we started to develop a blacklist. But once again, these people find ways to combat the situation where, okay, my name, for example, Tom Jones is on the blacklist. Tom Jones get Mary Sue to come and rent on behalf of him. You know what I mean? And these people go far beyond what we're trying to implement to stop these type of situation. But these people know.
So Darlene says, let's stop feeling sorry for people. If we go to the US and we don't provide what the policy state, then you don't rent a car. So she's saying to just have that higher standard. So here we go. Damien says, why not CMR? You post lost wallets, phones, dogs, and cats. Why not cars? Well, we have found a few stolen cars for people. So as far as we're concerned, this car is stolen. So Stephanie Tamar Bodden, who no longer lives on Up the Hill Road, She must be living down the child. This morning she is live on Damar Road. That's where she living this morning. So, Stephanie, you got to do better, girl. This is not a good look for you. I don't know who you are, and I don't know if you're working or whatever. But what year was she born? She looks pretty young. How old is Stephanie?
1982.
1982. How old does that make her? She's
in her.
Yeah, she's not no young person.
No, exactly.
Oh my gosh. No, sir.
Wow.
Stephanie, do better. Oh my God, you're 40 years old. What is this? No, man. So, according to Stephanie's contract, again, she signed it, license number, claimed that she was on Up the Hill Road. She got a Honda Accord. Yeah, she drives around in style, honey chow. Full tank of gas and everything. Wow. I tell you. And so, she signed this agreement.
And these are the standards I try to live by. And that's another thing. I notice you reiterated on a full tank of gas. But when you give these people, here's another issue again. When you give these people a full tank of gas, and you only collect a measly $100 deposit because of the fierce competition, right? No, these people will ask for some. This is another trick they pull off. They will ask for some lenience, say, you know what, I'm supposed to come in and pay Friday, but I'm not getting paid until Saturday. So Saturday comes along, they abscond, and then by the time you're closed on Saturday, they have the Sunday that you're closed. So let's say Monday now you're going into 3 days that they are delinquent. So they then they drive out their deposit. Then they bring back your car on a empty tank. So you lose a full tank of gas with no deposit because of they pencil out the whole weekend to go missing, or because some of them will go missing for 2 weeks, a month. Some of them will go missing for 3 days, and then they resurface. I've had case where people crash your car, then just come leave it in your parking lot and go missing. I mean, it's like when I tell you, it's a business that I.
Oh my God. Hold on now. Let's read some of the WhatsApp comments. This person says, morning, Sandra. The car rental man should post their names and pictures. It isn't defamation if the man posts the truth. He should start his own blacklist. Him and his friends can do it. And then they say his terms and conditions look a little bit scanty. He needs a 2 or 3 page document. I don't know that that's going to stop people, but here, this young lady works at SEMA, the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. This person says, I know her. She was my classmate, class of 1999. Stephanie Tamar Bodden, you work at SEMA? Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
Okay, here I'm asking somebody for her direct number at SEMA because I'm going to call her on air this morning and ask her what the hell. Hold on. Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. Anybody have her direct number? Anyway, you hold on here 1 second. We are calling this woman this morning. She got some nerves. I'm thinking she's a deadbeat and don't even have a job. To hear that she is actually working at the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority and making money, you hold on. You just hold your horses.
Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. Good morning.
Good morning. Stephanie Bodden, please.
1 moment, please.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Hello?
Wow.
Hello? Why haven't we been transferred yet? Hello?
Wow.
See my receptionist? Are you there? What happened to the call?
I guess they put her on the phone or something. So
I know, right? Did she go to get her? I don't hear any nice music being played over at SEMA. What kind of reception business is this?
Guess they must be transferring to her now.
Huh. All right, hold on a second. Let's call them back because I didn't really hear transfer happening. So and I do see another caller trying to call. So just give me 1 second here. Let's call SEMA back because I don't know what kind of reception business that was just now, but let's try it again.
Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. Good morning.
Hi, morning. We're trying to get a hold of Stephanie Bodden.
Okay, I'm going to give you her direct line in case she doesn't pick up again.
Oh, okay.
It's 244-1417. One moment, please.
Thank you so much. Oh, now we got some music. This is when I need my voice changer, my new board. Don't worry, that'll come in next week. Everybody know my voice is me.
Good.
Front desk.
Yes.
Hello?
I was on hold. I only heard music.
But I transfer you, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna call her direct. You don't worry.
I just give you her direct line.
244-1417. Thank you so much, honey.
Yes, because it keep ringing back to the front
Okay,
desk.
she didn't want to answer the phone.
That.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, honey. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye bye. Don't worry, we didn't get a hold of her today. She know we calling her.
Oh yeah, she know that. I'm sure somebody probably message her and tell her that she's on blast.
We soon get her mobile number too. Which department does she work in?
I'm sure she got the memo.
Lord have mercy. She don't got voicemail. Don't look like. What a mess. I tell you, these people are something else. She don't want to answer that phone. You got her mobile number?
Yeah, the mobile number's on the contract then.
Oh, it's on the contract? All right.
But she's not answering. I've been calling her since Friday.
Let's see if maybe she's gonna answer that. Maybe she's taking her morning coffee break already. Let me just look at the contract again. Her mobile number. Let me see here.
It's at the top.
I see it. I see it. Yep. Stephanie, you should be embarrassed. Girl, this is not how you do business. 917. We won't tell the rest of the number. She might start getting some people calling her to offer money to help her out. 917.
The number you dialed is temporarily out of service.
There we go.
If you feel you have reached this recording in
that
error, please try your call again. Thank you.
That's what? Okay, hold on. I know we're gonna do. We're gonna call her on WhatsApp. Hold on.
I wish you luck.
Lord have mercy. Woo!
I have pulled out all my investigation skills.
No, sir. Come on, folks. Who her mama is? Who's she family to? That came out to be like, what? Oh my God, Stephanie Barden. Jeez, I'm pleased. Y'all need to do better now. Stephanie Barden. Yes, she's on WhatsApp. She got a nice picture. Says it is a blessing and a curse to feel everything so deeply. You better try and feel some bills, girl. Talk about feeling everything so deeply. So Stephanie not answering the mobile number because that's out of service. Not answering in WhatsApp. Don't answer the work number. Darlene said somebody's already called her, so she knows. Oh my God, Stephanie, just answer the phone because we'd like an explanation as to why you've not returned this man's car vehicle. I mean, give us something that we can understand here because this just doesn't make any sense. You have a good job as a, oh, hold on. Let me tell you all what her position is at SEMA. She's actually an admin assistant in the, let me tell you what department she's in. You know, let me see now. Administrative assistant in the financial stability. Here the joke now. Financial stability. That's funny. That is funny. And statistics division. Oh God, that's a bit humorous to say the least. And clearly not very stable when it comes to returning a rented vehicle.
Wow.
You can't make this stuff up. There she is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. Stephanie, make it right today now. Today is Thursday. This man wants his vehicle back, and you make sure you clear off the bill. This is just ridiculous.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous. She should be ashamed of herself.
Very much so.
SEMA's a government. That's a good job.
That's a good paying job.
Yes. I mean, listen, I don't know what she's making. I'm not all in her business like that. But I'm saying that's a good company. I'm sure if she was in financial problems or whatever, you know, they would have probably helped her out a little bit, given her a little loan or something. Weeby says, yes, they know that you're calling. El Ray says they recognize your voice. I still don't get my new board. They're not gonna know it's me. I'll be like,
Hello?
hi, morning. I saw you were calling us back, honey child.
Oh, I was just going to tell him that when two or more people are involved, it moves to another level, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a criminal offense. So these people can be roped in just as you know. Explain it to them. I know you can do that.
Uh-huh. No worry, my dear. Thank you so much. Well, I reckon Stephanie has gotten the message loud and clear, although she not answered the phone here this morning, that we're looking for you.
Wow.
Steven says, boy, Sandra, you dirty. I trained so hard to get in my laughter, laughing out loud. Go get him, Sandy.
Listen, you are doing such a wonderful job, and not just in this area, but listen, man, you bring so much awareness to some burning issues, and you know, I might not be always be commenting a lot, but I listen, I watch your wow, it's just heart wrenching how dishonest people can be, you know, and also this other young man, I think people need to. And then when I put these things out, it's not just for me. I'm not being selfish. I'm just trying to, you know, assist other renters or, you know, business owners to look out for these people. There's this other one called Tyrell C. Smith.
You sent the photo on WhatsApp?
No, I'm going to do that shortly because I'm on the phone with this on this phone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's just crazy how these people, and I realize it's becoming a trend, and so it's not like it's a one-off situation where, okay, you say in Jamaica we say it's a buck up. You know, it's not a one-off situation. I see where it's becoming a trend. You know, where people come.
So Charles asked the question: is it harassment to be calling these people about bills. And CI PERS says, since when is bill collecting considered harassment? I mean, listen, everybody thinks that they have rights, but does this business owner and this gentleman not have the right for you to adhere to the terms of the contract? If you're supposed to return the vehicle on a certain day, you return it that day, or at least the very least you can do is call him and say, okay, I need the vehicle a couple more days. Can I give you a couple more dollars to rent it for another week or whatever the case may be?
There we go. It's that simple.
It's not that hard. It can't be that hard.
And then with this level of leniency that they always exercise, it's definitely not hard. Sometimes they even abuse the leniency because they ask for 2-3 days, then they go missing for another week.
So now that you know that she works at SEMA, Michelle says, maybe go to SEMA and get your car back because maybe that's where the car is.
No, I definitely do that. That much I can tell you. But,
someone's saying we should be speaking to her supervisor. Well, the supervisor is going to tell you she's an adult, 40 years old. She must take care of her business.
But that also speaks volume on
Jonathan is making me laugh. He said the receptionist told her it sounds like Sandy from Mall Road. Miss Brenda thinks that we should also speak to the supervisor. Magdalene says yes, her friends already called her and told her. She's racing back to yard to return the car, says Tracy. Oh my gosh. Real deal says she won't be answering you today. He better check the parking lot of his business. She's probably parking that car right now.
Now, there we go. You're right about that. I'm going to have my worker check sure because I'm not at the office.
Yes, Magdalene says that the man soon get a call that she has his money and car, more importantly. Wow. Black Cherry says SEMA's answering system is out of whack. Her extension shouldn't have rang continuously like that. If voicemail should have picked up. Yeah, that's a little bit weird. Aquaman is in shock. He says, OMG, these people have no conscience. And so you know what? They have no conscience. We're going to have no filter when dealing with people like that.
Exactly.
Let's call her again. Real Deal says this is the only way to deal with these type of people, expose their bad ways.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony believes that you'll be getting the car back today. A lot of y'all think we should be speaking to the supervisor. Even El Rey says speak to her supervisor. I tell you what, let's see if the supervisor knows if she's in work today. Let's see what the supervisor has to say. Even DJ Trucking says call the manager. Now SEMA don't even want to answer. This is the main line. They're like, don't pick up.
I don't see my they hire unethical people.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Stephanie's unethical or not. And SEMA probably didn't know that either.
But allegedly, she might be unethical. That's the right term.
So even CI PERS says, call her boss. This will not be tolerated by SEMA. But SEMA ain't answering the phone now. Where they going?
Wow.
They must have called a big time staff meeting right now. SEMA, answer the phone now. Child, they gone in the kitchen to listen to the show and not realizing that I'm calling them back. Let's give them a few more minutes. Maybe the receptionist had to go to the bathroom. Tracy says, hell no, she has his property. Jonathan says, I'll tell you what I think happened. The bank took her card because she couldn't pay the car loan, and then she got a rental, and the bank probably canceled her card, but she still needs a vehicle to go to and fro. Well, I mean, we don't know why she needed the vehicle. That things happen, folks. Sometimes, you lose your car, you get in a car accident, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have a contract that lays out the terms, right? So if you rent it for a week, you can only keep the car for a week unless you call and you renew it for another week and you pay more money.
There we go. That's it.
It's pretty simple. So Ms. Morna says it's better to get out of that business. You will have less enemies and live longer, just saying. But this is the thing. I mean, I'm always surprised when people make a comment like that, Ms. Morna, because the business owners always get the short end of the stick. And then people like Stephanie keep going from one company to the next company to the next company, potentially. I'm not saying that she's necessarily doing that, but they get to be out there taking advantage of people and nothing ever happens to them with impunity. I mean, come on. That can't be right. It's one thing to tell him, oh, get out of this business. This isn't really working out. But imagine if every business took that perspective. Foster's gets hit by thieves all the time, stealing groceries and trying to take advantage of them. What if they say, okay, yeah, we're not going to be in the grocery business anymore because none of y'all are honest. You keep stealing our groceries. I mean, at some point, you got to put the pressure on the people who should be doing the right thing, which is the consumers. So somebody says, embarrass her at work. Poor brute. You're going to make her lose her job. How sad is that? We have another question coming in about a nanny situation. This person says, morning, Sandy. Someone probably already tipped her off. Has he gone to SEMA to see if the car is there? Well, he's just finding out where she works, child. We've given him more information than he probably knew. Another person said this is obtaining property by deception. Once again, the police are not doing their job. You need to have the RCIPS on the show to find out really what type of crimes they can investigate. The public needs to know. When those two were caught by Lone Star with the guns a few weeks ago, they were also in a rental car. Call the director of SEMA.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I'm just glad I was.
Oh, honey child, hold on. Snaps. We got our investigative team here. Oh, maybe you should start calling us before you rent to people so we can tell you a little something about them. Because look, Stephanie, this is what happens when you get into mix-up. Your business is all over the streets. Okay. So one member of our investigative team has sent us this. Let me show you what this says. Apparently, Stephanie has been in court because it is Scotiabank has taken her to court. So hold on, let's read this. You see, this is what I tell y'all, you need to be listening to Aunt Lottie. She said, when you live in a glass house, you don't throw bricks and you make sure that you try to live good. Because when people start asking you questions or looking into your business, this is what happens. Look at this situation. I'm going to share the screen with y'all. This is what pops up, that she has been sued by Scotiabank August the 29th, 2016. I'm sure now if this gentleman knew this, he would have never been dealing with her.
Never. Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
So let me tell you what the court papers say. Hold on one second now. Okay, this is where it's at. Okay, it says, let the parties attend before a judge in chambers. This was August 2016. The defendants and other persons, so it's actually Stephanie Tamara Bodden and Teslin Louise Dede, I don't know who that is, first and second defendant, Scotiabank, take them to court. There's a property in Spots, block 25B, parcel 569H1. It says within 7 days of this order to vacate the property and take all appropriate steps to give the plaintiffs vacant possession. So this is a repo situation, folks. So yes. So Stephanie had some property taken from her back in 2016. And here you are up to shenanigans again now.
Wow.
Not a good look. Wow. Sometimes they give you a bit more details about the loan, but this one doesn't. This is just give us back our property. I tell you. Now you see the sad thing about this. Now everybody up in Stephanie's business this morning. Everybody knows. Don't give her a bank loan because she probably will never pay it back. Don't rent her car because she's gonna abscond with the car. Wow.
Very sad.
It is sad.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't think you even know the magnitude of help that you're implementing right now as we speak from myself and 10, 15 other local renters. This is a topic that we call each other every day. We send across blacklist names just to combat these situations. And somebody need to shed some light on it because, like I said, the police just won't help. I mean, it's a civil matter. This is. I mean, I'm talking about situations that I've been to the police with numerous times. And one of the real cases that I have a problem with is when these people have your vehicle, cannot be found, then how do you even get on top of the situation to bring a case to the court to say that, you know what, I got back my car, or I want to take this matter to court, and this day, but you don't even get back your car to build a case to say she bring it back damaged or she bring it back messy. You name it, you don't even have a case to start with because your car is missing in thin here.
Let's take a little commercial break. Rosanna says this is a real manhunt. Hands covering my eyes over here, holding my breath at the edge of my seat. Rosanna, all I can tell you is praise the Lord that you're not on the other end of the manhunt, because then you're good, honey child. Big shout out to Crichton Properties, Caymanian owned and operated for over 35 years, folks. If you're looking to sell your property, whether it's a piece of land, apartment, condo, whatever, these are the expert that you can go to for your property listings, and they have properties for sale. So check out their website as well.
Crichton Properties is one of Cayman's most trusted real estate companies for over 50 years. We offer a diverse selection of property listings and help our clients navigate the world of buying or selling their properties with confidence. Crichton is a name you can trust with our excellent customer service and family-friendly touch. Contact us today to list your home, land, or condo for sale by calling 949-5250 or email info@crichtonproperties.com. Crichton Properties, a trusted Cereba member.
Healthy Life app is now My HSA Cayman. Securely access your health information and COVID-19 vaccine QR code anytime, anywhere. You can get the My HSA Cayman app by following the easy steps. Step 1. Search My HSA Cayman in your app store. If you already have Healthy Life, open the app and you will be prompted to download the My HSA Cayman app. Step 2. Download the My HSA Cayman app. Once download is complete, search for Cayman Islands Health Services Authority. Step 3. Login. Enter your username and password. This is the same username and password used on the Healthy Life app or desktop portal account. Having trouble with your login? Reset your password. Click Forgot Password on the login page and follow the prompts. If you're still having difficulties, email portalinfo@hsa.ky or visit the portal FAQ page at www.hsa.ky. Sign up for My HSA Patient Portal online or on site at any of our registration counters.
All right, folks, welcome back to the program. 936-2626 is the telephone number. So we are on the hunt this morning for Stephanie Tamar Bodden. She has gotten herself in a little bit of situation with a vehicle that she rented from Empire Car Leasing, and she's not bothered to return the vehicle. So Tracy says that many companies, she says, call the police. Janet says many companies have a code of conduct for employees to adhere to both inside and outside the workplace. Miss Ruby says, what have I missed? Oh, Ruby, you missed a lot this morning. Louise says, this is why I say that we need a small claims court. So Louise, you might have missed this early in the program, but Cayman does have a small claims court. It's called summary court. It's not the same terminology that they use in the US, but it is effectively the exact same thing. And you can take matters to court yourself. So DJ Trucking says there's no difference between the police and a security guard in the Cayman Islands. So in other words, they don't do very much. Rosanna says this is wicked. It's wicked what she's doing to people.
I see some of these comments, Miss Sandy, and people have different opinions, and I just want to say, if somebody owe your mom money.
To be clear, Tracy says go report the car stolen. He's done that already. And the police said it's not for them.
Yeah.
They have said it's a civil matter. That's why he's here, because he's exhausted all of his options, Tracy. They've told him it's not a criminal matter. It is for the civil courts. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, Carla, but you yourself said what this is going to start make happening is people are going to take matters into their own hands.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That might as well start happening, because when your back is against the wall, you have nowhere to turn to. You have your investment that you deprive yourself of the trips and the hotel visits, and just to make a sacrifice to start a little business. And then here are these people trying to take advantage, and then when there's no help, then you're gonna see somebody in your car and just pull them out if you see them at the lights, or if you're gonna take matters in your own hands. And I'm a big fella, I can tell you. I just don't want to go that route.
Yeah. So Siobhan says CMR makes me want to continue to be a good person. This level of embarrassment, my parents would never forgive me, not to mention I have kids that I need to set a good example for. Rosanna also says, I'm gonna walk a straight line, look left and right. Jared, you were saying?
Yeah, so what we're saying to people is that if somebody owed your money, and I don't want to use any entity or example, if somebody owed your mom money and they didn't pay them, how would you feel? Because from this business owner's perspective, he has paid business license, he had to pay insurance, he had to put gas in those cars. He's taking a risk, a considerable risk, which is going to help Cayman because of those fees and what have you.
Ruby, he can't find the car to tow it. So people give fake addresses. The address that she gave,
and that's fraudulent,
which is on her driver's license, is not an address that she's at any longer. So why would she even do that? Because I mean, I've had it happen before where sometimes you've moved and you haven't had a chance to update your address in your driver's license yet, but you still put the current and correct address because that's what the contract asks you for. So from the onset, when you have someone lying about where they actually live, that is an indication that this person is just not an honest person.
And what this also begs into question is, why isn't DVDA requesting people who move addresses within a month? They need to have that change.
And you know how many times the police have like, a lot of people go to the police. We have this happen all the time. The police say to them, we can't find the person. And then they come to me and I find them in 5 minutes. Mo Adams says, Sandra, you stronger than the FBI. You got details the police takes years to find out.
That's why I said to you, you don't understand the magnitude of what you're doing. You're doing such an extravagant job, it's not even funny. And I'm dead serious.
Ruby, girl, you need to go back and listen to the show. Go back to the beginning of the show because we covered all of this. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're providing fake addresses. So this man can't reach them. The phone not working. She's not responding to phone calls anymore. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Wow.
So Selvin says, how about equal opportunity embarrassing? You have not gotten the same embarrassment to the male in the same situation. Well, Selvin, the young man here, the gentleman here, only brought that up so we don't have that information yet. But absolutely, as soon as he provides us with the license and other information, we are more than happy to put that up as well and to find out who he is. So give us the rundown for Selvin's benefit and everybody else listening. What's the situation with that young man? When did he rent the car?
Okay, let me give you his rundown. Okay, so this is Terrell C. Smith. He rented the car.
How does he spell his first name?
T-R-Y-E-L-L. Trell or whatever. Trial, whatever you want to pronounce that.
Smith.
T-R-Y-E-L-L-C Smith. No, I had actually gone to his boss to take it, to a level where I could at least get somebody superior.
So Terrell Smith was in the news. He received 44 months for stabbing someone in 2008.
Wow.
In an incident outside of Margaritaville.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, you need to start. Maybe we can do some due diligence on some of your clients beforehand. So he probably just got out of jail and came straight to you to be able to rent a car.
I'm not sure where he got out of, but he rented from the 30th of June. He, called me one night out of my bed that he got run off the road in a situation, and I said, call the police to at least have them get in touch with that person who might drive you, who run you off the road. And he said, okay, he'll do that. Then he called back about 5-10 minutes after. You know what? I can't lie to you. He just did anyway. But he said, I can't lie to you. So let me tell you the truth. Even this, I don't know if it's the truth anyway. That he was backing out of a tight spot and he hit a wall and the back windshield smashed out, the bumper damage, the backlight, one of the backlight damage. And you know, I was, you know, how lenient I was, Sandra. I even went ahead. He bring the car to me for me to analyze the car. I even went ahead and dropped this young man home. I went ahead and dropped, just how lenient I was. Dropped this young man home. Then, you know, tried to set up a payment plan. And then the following day, he just messaged me out of the blue. Listen, you know, I won't be able to pay for this. And you was a boss. You was a business.
Oh, Terrell is here.
You should learn to take a loss.
Terrell is here in the chat. He says, I was a victim. Know what you're speaking about. Okay, Terrell, let's back it up here now. Oh, he was a victim.
He's the same guy.
Oh, he's a victim in the stabbing. My apologies. So he's not the stabber. He's saying that he's a victim in the stabbing. Okay. All right. Very good, Terrell. Thank you for confirming that. Now, what's your excuse with the man's car? Can you help us out since you're here with this gentleman's car? Do you want to call into the program and tell him what's the situation with his car? Thank you so much for confirming. So Terrell got stabbed. He was not Smith, 21, was stabbed multiple times in the early morning hours of June the 16th. Well, looks like you're doing okay now. We're glad to hear that. But tell us, what's the situation with the gentleman's car? Terrell, are you still with us? I mean, you were correcting misinformation. Now we have this gentleman here who's providing some info. So give us the real scoop on that. You damaged the man's car. What's the problem?
And distinctly stated that he won't be able to fix it because he has a lot of bills and a lot of things to do. And
so he can't fix it, and that's your problem.
Yes, I mean, that's his bold statement that he will not be fixing it, and because he has a lot of bills to pay and he can't afford that now. And after
is Terrell working since he got time to be here on the call?
He works on Shedden Road.
On Shedden Road.
Yes.
All right, let's try SEMA one more time.
Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. Good morning. May I help you?
Good morning. Can we try Stephanie Bodden again, please?
One moment.
Is she in work today? We're wondering if she's on holiday.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm not getting an answer from her extension. I'm sorry.
No answer. Okay. And she doesn't have voicemail or anything available.
I'm not sure it's activated.
Oh, okay.
I could try her again for you.
All right, let's try her one more time.
Okay.
How Terrell disappeared? He jumped in the comments and now he's gone. Terrell, come back. Damien says that elevator music has got to go.
Wow.
Yes, I guess Stephanie just isn't going to answer the phone today. All right, my dear. Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye. And then I don't know where Terrell gone, but child, he was quick to say that that we had the court information wrong on him, which we're happy to correct, but all of a sudden he's disappeared. So yeah, he was the victim, but hello, we're actually talking now about the situation with the man's car. Can you tell us if you're going to pay? How much money does he owe you?
Estimate running about $1,200.
Find the money, honey child. If you're paying the man a couple $100 a week, it probably might have been paid off by now.
And that's the crazy thing. I was very lenient to say, okay, let's set up a payment plan. His first word was to start payment this Wednesday or Thursday when he gets paid. And the following day, he just send me those messages. Oh, I don't think I'll be able to pay, and then I won't be paying because I have other bills and other things to do. And and you as a businessman, you should learn to take a loss. Those were.
Oh, that's what he told you. You must learn to take a loss.
He really told you that?
Yep.
Where he work on Shed Road, you said?
As a businessman, he must take a loss. Wow.
He works at CarQuest, to be exact.
CarQuest? What's CarQuest?
CarQuest. What is that?
Auto parts.
Oh, he works for an auto parts business and can't pay to fix a car that he crashed? Oh, Terrell Smith. My goodness, poor you. This is just not right. Wow.
And funny it is, when I went to speak to his boss, I don't know if he gave his boss a heads up, but his boss was there waiting for me. And I saw him. I don't think he realized I saw what happened. But this guy hold on to a screwdriver, held it low in case I was, confronting him. I saw that clearly. But I just turned a blind eye because I never went to his workplace to, for any outbursts or anything. I just, went to give his boss a word so he could know who he's up against in his, workplace. So, but I watched him held on to a screwdriver, palm it in his hand, thinking that I might be coming to confront him. I saw that thing.
Are you see? RCIPS. I really have to name and shame RCIPS because apart from the beat test that they have the new officers take, which if you don't pass, you fail and you get fired. That's the discussion for another day. How is this situation not a criminal matter when you have people stealing things and all of that, and then you have these front desk people who clearly don't know the laws, and it aggravates business owners.
Exactly.
It aggravates, and they wonder why the commissioner needs to go. Clearly, in my opinion, because it's not working. It's untenable. Nobody's giving the right answers. Nobody is acting on what is happening, and I can assure everybody that this is not the first time this is happening.
Not the first.
And it won't be the last. And something needs to be done, really and truly.
I have had cases where I rented an older guy in my vehicle. His stepson took the car, wrote the car off. When I reached out to him, he's like, I wasn't driving and I'm not paying. The police now, I got involved, to go to the court, whatever summons, whatever statement. The police said they would have located this guy and get back to me, and that's going 2 years now. And another statement, not a word from the police to say, okay, we got this statement or we got this information or here you go, move forward. Nothing after 2 years. That's why I stopped going to the police.
So someone is asking when you spoke to his employer if they weren't willing to come to an agreement where his salary could be garnished until the amount is paid off.
No. The gentleman I spoke, he was just saying, you know what? He's judging him off for his character and he's in a probational period and this doesn't look good on his resume and stuff like that. But he wasn't willing to go that route.
Wow. All right, my friend. Well, hopefully Stephanie will step up. We have some people who are trying to help locate her for you in terms of her. I mean, now we know where she works, but they're also trying to get you a good physical address where the car might be. But definitely send someone by SEMA. It could be there if she's the one actually driving the vehicle. But as you said, sometimes that's not necessarily the case. Maybe she rented it for somebody else who's driving around all day while she's working.
There we go.
You just never know. And Michael says, Michelle says, call the police and tell them the car license number and that they have ganja in it. They're good at that.
I'm not the type to make false report or.
I know, right?
That's
Call
a
them and
good one.
say, oh, I know what you should do. Call them and say, we think the guy that you're looking for, remember the other Jamaican gangster? We think he's in this car right now with his license plate. Go check it out. Ms. Darlene says Cayman is becoming a lawless society. Come, people, please do better. As Shani says, I would definitely start a database of their names. If you put the names, others out there, they were let drive in the cars and never rent to them again. Yeah, because I suspect, as this business owner has said, they are going from like one business to the next. So obviously she's burnt this bridge. Like she's flamethrowed it, right? This bridge, this can't be rebuilt. She cannot go back to Empire Car Lease and get another car, but she'll move on to the next small or medium-sized car business. So everyone needs to know who these individuals are that are doing this to really stop them in their tracks, because this is precisely what they do.
Oh yeah.
And then they leave a long list of businesses that have been burnt by their bad behavior. Wow. So JD says DM me for tracking solutions. He can help you out there. Lavana says you need to put trackers in your cars going forward. Just saying. So that suggestion came up. He was saying initially that it was really cost prohibitive to do that, but it seems like there may be really no other option than to get some sort of a tracking system and maybe even a kill switch, so that the day that they're due and they don't pay, bloop, the car stops running. Someone did mention earlier that even the big car companies in the US have this exact same issue as well. And it has become, quite a problem for people. So, sir, thank you so much for coming on the program and talking to us in relation to this. It's highlighted an issue which exists. You're not the first one that has reached out, but you're bold enough to put it out there. And I think that that's really important because, I tell people, people just want to send me their story and like, you put it out there. I'm like, no, people will have questions for you. You need to be able to put it in your own words and explain to the people exactly what is going on. So I thank you for being bold enough to be able to do that.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
All right, my dear, and have a good one and good luck. Keep us posted as soon as you hear from Stephanie.
Yes, definitely will do. And thanks
right.
for the highlight. You're doing a wonderful job, and I hope other renters, rental companies will learn from this and form a unity kind of energy where because some people, because of the competition, people tend to separate themselves and stuff like that. But this is important because we all lose when stuff like this happen. So it's best like I said, I'm in dialogue with a few other guys to form this blacklist to have people like these not going around doing stuff like this.
Yeah,
so thank
absolutely. You. All right, my dear. Thanks very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
And we had a list. I'm trying to remember when that list was actually put up some time ago. Again, another company who does small loans reached out to us. That might have even been 2018, 2019, but same sort of situation where they were loaning money to people and those people were, becoming delinquent. And so they reached out and they said, Miss Sandy, we need your help. August 23rd of 2019, loan to payday service. They were outing delinquent clients and they sent us a long list. And some of those individuals were civil servants. One woman even worked for the RCIBS. I don't know. Is this company still around? FWC Loans? Because unfortunately, they attract the type of clients who are going to be delinquent. I hate to tell you all this, but this is really the truth. Right? When someone has to go to loan to payday business, normally they just are not good paymasters, and that's why they've exhausted all other options. So look at this back then. Here's what we had a note here. Kim and Modern offers a consumer protection segment that allows both consumers and small businesses to air their small business complaints with us. So you can send your story through, come on the program and explain to people what's going on. But again, this was a list of all these individuals who owed money. And this company has a whole photo of who these delinquent, they have a delinquent board. of who these persons were. I hope they've paid up now. I don't know what has happened since then. But there was someone on this list, I can't remember who it is now, who actually worked for the RCIPS. Can you imagine? People have no conscience whatsoever. So this company offers same-day loans. Like I said, I don't even know if they're still in business, but they reached out to us at the time saying that their business was being significantly hurt. They were offering small loans, $100 up to $1,000. And people, again, they were asking for all this stuff. You had an application form, passport, proof of address, employment letter, guarantor, picture, and people were still defaulting on these little loans, some for as low as just a couple $100. Wow. It's crazy. Really, really crazy. So all the best to that gentleman. Miss Sue says, yes, we do so much. So maybe there should be, then these awful, wicked landlords don't get away with what they do to people. So we'll talk about landlords tomorrow. So make sure you tune into the program. Moya says that we need a Keyman Scammer Alert website page. DJ Truckin says, sad to say, but you need to get some thugs on the payroll just to do a little physical motivation. Oh, God. Well, we don't want to be encouraging people to beat people up over these things. All right, here's a question that has come in. Stacy says, good morning, Miss Sandy. I'm asking on behalf of a friend, does this make sense? She works as a nanny. Her employer is going away on a 2-week vacation to the States with her husband and kids. She buy a ticket for the nanny from the nanny pay and tell her that she has to go because she's going away on vacation. This nanny lives here with her husband. Tell me if this makes any sense. So let me try and understand. She buys a ticket for the nanny from the nanny's pay and tell her that she has to go home. So I'm confused. So the family is taking a vacation for 2 weeks to the States. Where's the nanny from? So they're making her go home during that time, but what if she doesn't want to go home? I don't understand that. She doesn't have to go home because they're taking a vacation. Are they telling her to take her vacation at the same time? But even if she wants to take her vacation at the same time, that doesn't mean she has to leave the island. And then they take it out of her pay. Something doesn't sound right.
Yeah,
they can't be making random deductions from your pay like that without your permission. So on what basis would they be purchasing her a ticket?
And did the
I think if I'm understanding this correctly, the ticket is for her to go back home wherever she's from, not to go on vacation with them. But that's not their business what she does the 2 weeks that they're not here. I mean, from the perspective of if she wants to take a vacay or she wants to lounge out by the pool, that's like really, really bizarre. I've never heard of such a thing before, actually. That's very, very strange. So they have made her buy a ticket because they haven't bought it. They took it out of pay. So they've made her buy a ticket to go home. And she lives in Cayman with her husband. So what's she going home for?
They can't do that.
I think she should contact the labor board because when you make deductions from someone's salary, there's certain deductions that you're able to make. And, that really doesn't sound like that falls into that category. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Yes, Miss Sandy. She was explaining to me and telling me the whole situation this morning. They are going on a 2-week vacation to the States. She's from Honduras or Nicaragua, one of those countries. And she lives here with her husband. So they bought the ticket from her pay and tell her, oh, go on 2-week vacation because we're going on 2-week vacation. But suppose the lady don't want to go.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Why would you buy it from her pay and then you deduct it from her pay, then you're going to give her the rest?
Yeah, so
tell her, oh, go on 2-week vacation because we're going on vacation. That's so wrong.
There's two things going on here, right? So they can tell her on the one hand that, okay, we're taking our vacation at this time.
Yeah,
so
you can take yours as well.
We would like
but
for you to
suppose the
consider
lady
taking
don't
your
want to take it.
vacation.
She live here with her husband.
Right, but she doesn't have to travel to be able to take her
Exactly.
time
She's
off.
not going with them. Exactly.
So Now they're forcing her to take a trip.
In their mind, they don't want her to go when they leave for her to go and work with. In their mind, they think she's gonna go and work with somebody else. That in their mind,
that's none of their business.
Does she?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it would be to be fair to them,
she wasn't
they're
scared to call in.
responsible
I
if
tell
she
her
was.
to call in on the show and tell you. So I said I will write it in the comment or suggest it to Miss Sandra, since you don't want to say it because she's scared of them.
Oh God. So
the poor lady is so stressed.
I mean, you know what? When she's on vacation, because they hold her permit, she obviously knows that she can't work for somebody else. Does she get a paid
She
vacation?
told me they have a copy of her passport. That's why they told me this morning. She lady go and book the ticket to Cayman Airway for her to go. The lady leaving on Sunday, so they tell her she has to go Monday. So they buy the ticket for her to leave on Monday.
No.
Craziness. I don't want to even call her name because I would call her name because I know her name.
Cayman Airways allowed somebody else to buy a ticket for someone.
I tell her to cancel it.
And but I don't know if she can get her money back because it depends if it's a refundable ticket.
That's crazy. That's what these people do to these people that came here and work on permits. How can you do that? The lady live here with her husband. You going on your vacation with your family, take your vacation. If the lady want to stay here with her husband and enjoy her 2 weeks, let she do. She didn't tell her she want to go on a vacation. They go and buy her a ticket.
All right, hold on one second. Monday. We got another caller here. Okay, this is gonna hang up on you because you're WhatsApp calls. Let's see what this caller has to say. Caller, good morning and welcome to the program.
Hi, Sandy. Good morning. Just a little quick thing for you. Read between the lines if anyone has not figured this out. I've seen this happen to someone before of my place of work where they told them to go home for a couple of weeks. And then as soon as they go home, they cancel the permit because they have someone else in plan. That's what I'm reading between the line. So if you think about it, that's the reason why they want them to leave.
Oh, so you're thinking that this is a setup where they actually intend to cancel her work permit.
Thank you, because they already have somebody in plan to have in place.
I would think in that still.
Yeah,
I heard that conversation.
Yes, that makes more sense.
It's happened, and I've seen it happen numerous of times where they say, "Oh, go ahead home. I'm going on vacation." Blah blah blah. They go home because of their nationality. They have their friend that they want to bring up now to work for them for a couple of days, and yes, to replace them. That's why they have the picture. That's why they have the picture of their passport. So when they go down, they could turn it into the passport office and cancel their permit.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is they can cancel her permit, but why not just be honest with the woman? Why not just say, you know, we're not going to need your services anymore?
If they cancel the permit while they're here, they can look another job. It's harder when they go back home to get a permit to come back up.
That's true.
Wow.
They're going to have to go through the whole loop of trying to get a permit granted. Where if they're here Sunday and they come to you and say, "Miss Sandy, you know, somebody that's lost my job. Can you help me?" "Yeah, I know somebody that can help you." Yeah, while they're here, they could get this trans, and they don't have to go through the whole tight ropes again. But if they go back home and the permit is canceled, then they have to go through the whole loop to get back up here again.
That's true.
That's what I'm reading between it. So there we go, Miss Sandy. Have fun with that one.
What a mess. Wow. So this is quite an interesting situation. Okay. I don't know, why not just be honest with her? Why not just say we're not going to be requiring your service anymore? So Lavana says anyone can go and purchase a ticket for someone once they have the info needed. And of course, as her employer, they have her passport information. So Blackberry, this isn't the case where she's traveling with them. This is a case where they're going to the States on vacation and they're buying her a separate ticket out of her own money for her to go back to her home country. So Risa says that she is entitled to paid vacation per the labor law, so the employers are breaching the law. I don't know if they're paying for that 2 weeks or not, but they're certainly breaching another law as it relates to making unauthorized deductions from her pay. They can't just do that. So Stacy says she used to work for the mother on Saturday, and so the mother's upset from then. Upset that they booked her to leave? People do not so much it's always standard. People do that so much it's almost standard. Doing what, Jonathan? I'm not really clear.
Have buying people their tickets and telling them that they're going on vacation, and then cancel the permit while they're off island.
And Jonathan says it's probably cheaper for the plane ticket than her whole pay. I see. So that you don't have to pay them vacation, but even if they're not here and they're entitled to 2 weeks, you're supposed to pay it. So they really that whole story is a bit mixed up. Folks, this is what the Labor Department is there for. Give them a call. And they should be able to assist you with these types of queries because, there is a labor law and there's certain things that employers can and can't do. And yes, you can cancel a contract if you don't want someone working for you. There's no law that's going to force you to have someone working for you. But at the same time, folks, there is such a thing as, doing it the right way. You can do it. Just like during COVID, you had the option of letting people go. So you can do it. It's just that you have to make sure that you do it the right way. I think I've just about heard it all, folks. And when you think you haven't heard it, when you think you have heard it all, then somebody tells you something else and you're like, what? That too? Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Okay, so Stacy says the mother's upset with her because she stopped working for her on Saturdays. And I mean, do these people know that she's probably breaking the law if they don't have a shared permit, even though that's the mother-in-law or whatever, the mother? She works for the son has her permit. The son just can't be having her go to all the different family members working for them because that would be against the law as well. So Captain Mark says, tell her to cancel the ticket if it's good for a year. So yeah, I mean, they can't force you to go off island like that. So I would definitely cancel the ticket as well. I'd call Cayman Airways, tell them to cancel it and give you your money back. And if it can't be canceled, then you need to go to Labor Board and make a complaint. Joshua says, I do not think that this is fair on the part of immigration for someone to be here for, let's say, 6 years, have a place rented, have material stuff here when home on vacation, and your boss canceled your work permit while you're away, and then you cannot come back to the island. What do you think? Yeah, because I mean, even her husband is here. So obviously, I'm assuming he has a job and so forth. So I don't know why they're trying to push this woman off island like that. If she can't get a work permit, so say that they cancel her work permit, immigration will give her time based on how long she's been here to kind of wrap up her affairs, and she may have to leave. But this isn't the way that you go about it. There has to be some degree of respect and transparency in the process.
Well, and some people don't like confrontation because, when you're telling an employee that they're being fired, the reaction can be different. But for the most part, what people are saying is that when you go to the labor board or labor department, they have their friends working there. So even if you make a complaint, does it really go anywhere? And
well, Strong Will says, good morning, Sandy. The labor law is no help because they have their friends working there. Damien says, what about her vacation pay? Because this is the thing. Yeah. You can't send her off island in an attempt to try to not pay her vacation if she's entitled to it. And I don't know how long she's been working with them. And I mean, there are other things, that you would need to know as it relates to that. But Jonathan says maybe the husband set it up. Which husband? Her husband? I don't know. Lucille says, I need a car to rent from him, but he won't have a problem with me. I would not know where to start. Something money, I would lost a foul in Cayman. What I have been, I'm ashamed to say. Charles says the law needs to protect people. Whenever employer going to be like this with the employee. They need to pay them a full 1 or 2 year salary, whatever time employment permit will be granted. Wicked souls.
Apparently,
Lavana says if she cancels it and the ticket is valid for a year, it might not be refunded because I'm sure they didn't buy a refundable ticket. It is now her property, but she can use it another time. And Stacy says the mother works for government too. Oh, you civil servants be doing the most when it comes to breaking the law. France Manderson better get on top of y'all. Because you be breaching every single law out there, labor law, immigration law. Some of the biggest offenders of the immigration law are people who work in immigration, from what I've heard. And is it a one-way ticket? Did she buy her round-trip ticket? That's an interesting question. Or is it one way? Very good question, actually. I tell you. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here in WhatsApp. What the heck is this? What? I just sent some photos. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Somebody says labor who? If you approach as a thug, maybe the person will get positive results. I'm just saying. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. All right, listen now. I guess this is going to be on the show tomorrow because I cannot avoid it any longer. Somebody else just sent this to me. There is a young lady who is vying for the title of Miss Cayman Universe. And I did have a few days ago someone reach out and say that she had some things in court, criminal charges. And it looks like this story has grown legs and somebody else has just sent it to me. And the question is, and I guess we'll have to talk about it tomorrow. The question is, when someone is in court, should they be permitted to run for Miss Cayman Universe with the potential being that they could actually win the title? And they're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 charges that are active in court. I don't want to get into it right now because I want to see. I don't think they can get me a file that quickly because court child takes them a week to pull a file. They're kind of slow over there. So, but I think I already know what this situation is about because we had previously covered it a number of years ago. It's probably now just coming to court. But let me see what additional information I can get, and then we're probably gonna have to talk about it tomorrow or Monday.
I thought people couldn't run if they have those type of things in court. Like if you have something in court, you shouldn't be able to. I think you should have a clean record because you're gonna be an ambassador for Cayman if you win the title, and so it's problematic. You know what I found very interesting is that with law, I think you always realize there's more than one side to a story. However, notwithstanding that, if you did something wrong, you did something wrong. There's no way of wiggling out of it. So,
all right, I'll put it on the agenda for tomorrow. Mess. Y'all just don't understand.
And you're supposed to be a role model too. Like young girls.
That's a whole other thing. But
young girls,
the sad thing is, it really actually breaks my heart to have to highlight these young ladies in this manner because, some of them are out there doing stuff and then they end up regretting it. But, there are consequences. We say it every single day on the show. There are consequences to your behavior. So pretending it's not happening or trying to cover it up or, people say, oh, give them a second chance. But you can't get a second chance if you're still in court and these are active and live matters. You get a second chance after you face the consequences of your actions. So I don't know if she could be incarcerated for these charges. She maybe will be put on probation. Like, I don't know what the outcome will be, but those consequences need to be dealt with first before we can really talk about giving someone a fresh chance. That's why you stay out of the penal system as much as you can, because those are real life consequences. Right? So when you decide in a drunken moment to go and beat somebody up or to do this, do that, you have to understand that there are implications that fall from that. And so, as a result, you might be dealing with the fallout for years to come. I don't know. It's just really, really sad. All right. Yes, Stacy, find out if it's one way. Flashpoint says Cayman is designed and built around the abuse of employees. There's some truth to that. This has been the way things have worked for a very long time. Speaking of that, I had a shocking allegation come to my attention, talking about abuse of employees, and it's sexual harassment. I'm not going to give you all the details yet because the person is dealing with their attorney about the matter. And so they want to take certain steps first, and then they're going to revert back to me. But what is happening in workplaces oftentimes is really, really shocking. So Flashpoint, you are right that workers are often at the mercy of, their employers and others. And sometimes they feel like they have no protection, especially if they're here in a work permit and there's little that they can do.
And especially if the labor board do work.
So Jeffrey says, why would the permit be canceled as soon as she's on vacation? Something's not right. So I think what's happening is they're trying to get rid of her and not pay the vacation period. So they're sending her back home. They purchase a ticket out of her own money and sending her back home without her consent, by the way. And that is a roundabout way of trying to they're trying to I guess get around it. So Tracy says, Laura, you need to ring into the radio channel on WhatsApp. I think she's tagging someone to call us. So yes, you can call us multiple ways. 936-2626 is the number. You can WhatsApp call as well to that same number. Just keep in mind that if you WhatsApp call and somebody else calls on the straight line, we can't join those two calls together. So the straight line calls always take priority. Lorna says, please start a page for thieves, bad debt, because we have a king duty list, of done, bad mind, carry down, artiste, pop, shop, want my clothes and things, and think of Fred. We get them taking about 4 years now and longer since I've been to Cayman and was working there. So them unscrupulous have a long list of people who credited my clothes, gave some to sell my clothes, and never gave me the money they collected, and some run me off the phone. Wow. Say them only buy ordinary clothes from me because my clothes not up to par. Oh gosh. What a mess, Lorna. Flashpoint says politicians will always represent the best interest of the business community because of the business lobby groups and their stronghold on our ethically deficient politicians. I don't know that much lobbying is being done. I think a lot of it is people just ignore these problems. So this is a thing. Chevrolet, she doesn't have a criminal record. She's just in court with these matters.
For criminal charges.
So she's not yet been convicted of anything. So I do believe that they ask for a criminal record and they get a police clearance and that's it. So although something is in court presently, she does not yet, because it hasn't concluded, she doesn't yet have a criminal record.
But okay, so then the line of thinking is, suppose that person wins. How are they going to perform their duties if they have to go to court?
That's the same questions being asked, and like I said, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But we've reached out to the committee when we first got, about 2 days ago, someone reached out to us and they had a question about it. So what a mess. Salvin says, well, Sandy, you must be tired by now. What a day. Ooh, honey child. I need to start eating my Wheaties in the morning before coming on the show, because some days it is a lot. Lucille's so funny. So the ticket might cost $300 when 2 weeks vacation would be $500 or $600, or they could have get her ticket with their frequent flyer mileage. I mean, I don't know. But they making her pay for the ticket. Why wouldn't she be on bail until hearing, therefore? Doesn't have a criminal record. But wouldn't she be on bail? Yes. Hot mess. Lorna says, God bless CMR, because people now have a channel to voice their grievances or their drama and wickedness that they're experiencing. What a ting. Folks, something I wanted to advise you of is the Agriculture Department. Let me just pull this up because they did send me some stuff on this. They actually have, I think it's a course coming up. It's limited space, but it looks like they don't have people registering. So if you are you got the green thumb or you want to have a green thumb, check this out. Let me just tell you what this is all about. Give me 1 second here. Agriculture, came out agriculture. So this is, a lot of these government departments do offer training courses and different things that you can take and avail yourself of. And I think this is a fantastic idea. So they have, let me just see here now. National Garlic Day. Where is this post, by the way? They must have another page. Hold on. Let me just see. Because that one isn't bringing that much of anything. Let me just see if I can find this. So they do have this course that's coming up that they want you guys to sign up for. So we told them that we would share with you. Let me just see where it is. So it is a agro processing, whatever that is. So in conjunction with the department, says Cayman Islands Department of Agriculture, in conjunction with Scientific Research Council of Jamaica, is hosting an agro processing workshop at the Clifton Hunter High School in Frank Sound. Space is limited to 20 persons. So the workshop provides you with the opportunity to upgrade individual skills in the area of good manufacturing practices, principles of agro processing, and the manufacturing of purees, juices, sauce, jams, and so forth. So if you're into this, and I think a lot of you might very well be, like you like to make your own little purees and jams and whatever, this course is for you. So check it out. I'm going to post it here so you can see. So it's going to be the 18th, which is, what is 18th? That's next week. Through the 22nd from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. So this is like an all-day situation. So yeah, this is pretty cool. The registration forms are available. You have to be 18 years or older. And farmers or individuals who are looking to add value to their crops are interested in starting or improving their own agro-processing business. All registration forms will be screened based on the listed criteria, and you have to pay $150. But that's good for a, what is that, about, is that a full week? From the 18th through the 22nd. Yeah, so that's next week. You can get into this from 9 a.m. until 5. So you can go to the website, doa.gov.ky, and then you're able to sign up for this course. So check it out, folks. Again, if you want to do some pureeing, packaging, labeling of jams and jellies and all that sort of stuff, this is your opportunity to be able to do so. That's a good price for a full week course. And they probably throw in lunch for you. I don't know. But check it out. Yeah. Couple minutes left in the program. Let me just see. Tracy says the police need to all go on a training course to refresh their knowledge in the law. Ciao. We could only wish. Sue says you're not supposed to have any charges on you for court. Nothing like that. Clean record.
And that couldn't be a clean record, to be honest.
Well, you still get a clean record until you're convicted of something.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're not convicted yet,
so it doesn't even show.
You're innocent until proven guilty. No.
I guess so.
What a mess. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Like I said, it's kind of a deep situation.
Deep.
I can't take it. I can't take on it. I need to zen out right now.
No man, this morning
was already hot enough.
Yeah. Big up all the civil servants at the authorities, departments, and units that watch them all road. You know, there must be a lot of buzzing excitement. But this morning was a lot.
All right, good people. Tomorrow is Friday. So Friday, you know, we do our mail day. So we'll be going through some of your questions. We're going to be talking about landlords and tenants and all the shenanigans that are going on there, because there is a lot that is happening. Yesterday, ironically enough, we can end the show on this little bit of celebrity gossip. So on yesterday's show, we were talking about all these really bad baby daddy situations all over the world. And, you know, we always have to bring up poor Khloe Kardashian, because she's like the poster child for how to pick a horrible husband, or not even husband, because that last one was a boyfriend. But she just has had the worst luck with picking these guys. I mean, the criteria that she's been using is really, really poor. Now I hear she's dating an investment banker. So hopefully he's coming to the table with a little bit more credentials in terms of, you know, because she's the type of person, she wants to get married and all this kind of stuff. So when the news dropped late yesterday, that she has another baby on the way through a surrogate with, guess who? Trifling, what his name is? Tristan Thompson. I almost fell through my chair. So apparently what happened was, before she heard about the last cheating scandal and him getting this other girl pregnant, they already had committed to having a second child through a surrogate. So that woman was already pregnant with baby number 2 when she found out that he's got another outside child with somebody who was cheating on her. And then, you know, they ended their personal relationship, but the baby was already in the oven. Mm-hmm. So the baby is coming. I was like, oh my God. So now it's now been dropped because the baby is due any day now, apparently. Yeah. And so either the baby's being born like this week or whatever.
That's crazy.
Like, oh my God.
That's crazy.
You cannot make this stuff up. Bobo listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning into the program, trying to watch the clock. You guys have a wonderful day, and tune back in tomorrow morning at 7:30.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.
All right, folks. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I was like, whoa.
That's serious news.
Yeah.
That's like a drop in my...
I mean, imagine now, essentially what has happened is she is going to have a child with a man that she does not even want a relationship. I mean, she's already got one, so he's already hanging around because it's true. But now you got 2 kids with this guy. And you know, the most bizarre thing is, I don't know who the new guy is that she's dating, but he must be like, what the hell? I mean, I get it. She's a Kardashian and she comes with all this money and, you know, the prestige of being with a Kardashian, but I'm sure he's not in the entertainment business and he probably doesn't care about any of that. He's probably just looking for like a really nice person. And now he's like, oh my God, you've just added another reason for cheating Tristan to hang around you all the time, in addition to baby True. And this is the type of dude who's not taking care of the other children that he has. He only hangs around Khloe because he's looking for his 15 minutes in the limelight. Oh, he is so disgusting. Oh my God. I don't know. Child, I don't know what she ever saw in him, honestly. And he's not even cute. I mean, I look at him, I'm like, ugh.
The Kardashians are notorious for choosing not so good men.
Yeah, they make some poor choices. I don't know what's wrong with them because they got all the money in the world to have someone like a professional dating service vet your choices and have a psychiatrist help you out in that department. So it's not for lack of money. It's just that they make some really poor decisions when it comes to men. What a mess. Carrie, have a beautiful day. Jared, take care. I got stuff to do this morning. You guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. So again, tomorrow we'll be talking about landlord and tenants and other stuff. Of course, y'all have to keep reminding me to play the news. I forgot Kevin's news. So stay tuned for the news. Do not log out. Watch the news. This is your Daily Buzz. You guys have a fantastic day.
Hello, I'm Kevin Watler, and this is your CMR Daily Buzz. Canton Chinese restaurant located in the Strand on West Bay Road will be closing its doors at the end of this year after 27 years of serving the people of the Cayman Islands and countless visitors to these islands. CMR sources share that it is closing due to succession planning and future management requirements. The Caymanian partners, the Foster's Group, along with their restaurant partners, will no longer be operating the business primarily because of the active industry partners are getting up in age. The younger family members do not appear to be interested in continuing to be involved in the demanding restaurant industry. Globally, the number of COVID-19 reported cases has increased over the past week by 18%. However, here in the Cayman Islands, the case rate has decreased by 14%. Also, no new COVID deaths were reported in the Cayman Islands over the last week. 6 new hospital admissions were registered, which is a decrease from 10 compared to the previous week. As Europe attempts to lessen its dependence on Russian oil, the US dollar and the euro are currently worth the same for the first time in 20 years. Russia's invasion of Ukraine continues to affect European economies, with the euro falling about 12% since the start of the year. Marilyn Brandt has been promoted to Deputy Solicitor General in the Portfolio of Legal Affairs. This is the first time a Caymanian attorney has been appointed as the Deputy Solicitor General. She brings to the job 14 years of experience. She gained practical professional experience as an articled clerk within the Attorney General's chambers and the Portfolio of Legal Affairs. Brandt's core legal work within the portfolio includes providing extensive advice on behalf of the Attorney General to the Cayman Islands government on immigration, children's law, planning, contract, and employment. Additionally, she prepares and represents the Cayman Islands government before both the Grand Court and the Court of Appeal. And another Caymanian woman has risen to a top position. Dr. Samantha Dorman has been appointed as the acting senior veterinary officer at the Department of Agriculture. Dr. Dorman has been employed as veterinary officer with the department for 9 years. Now that she is the first acting senior veterinary officer, she is the first female, first woman of color, first Caymanian, youngest post holder, and youngest senior manager for the Department of Agriculture. The department and guardians that standard student registration is now closed for the 2022-2023 academic year. Late applications will be accepted throughout July and August, and requests for student transfers will be processed no earlier than August 8th. More information can be found on schools.edu.ky. 3 new DART scholars for 2022 has been announced. Adrian Phillips Hernandez will receive the William A. Dart Memorial Scholarship to study mechanical engineering at Imperial College in London. 2 high school scholarships are awarded to Jake Fagan from Cayman Prep and High School and Siri Bata from Layman Scott High School in Cayman Brac. Now in its 11th year, the DART Scholar Program offers scholarships to Caymanian students who excel academically demonstrate strong leadership qualities, and make a positive contribution in the community. DORT's four-year high school scholarship focuses on STEM subjects of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The Ministry and Department of Tourism has partnered with Aquila Center for Cruise Excellence to offer a free training opportunity to enhance experiences for guests, tour operators, attraction staff, and anyone involved in Cayman's tourism fields are encouraged to register for and attend a full-day workshop on July 21st. Those who attend the workshop will learn more about finding opportunities, building packages and partnerships, exceeding expectations, and more. Register by sending an email to aquila.ourcayman.ky. The Cayman Islands Parliament Building will be celebrating its 50th anniversary next week. The then Legislative Assembly building was officially opened on July 31st, 1972, and to celebrate there will be a special celebration from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, July 21st on the Parliament steps and on 4th Street. There will be food, drinks, music, art, and fireworks. Earlier this week, staff from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service Air Operations Unit visited the 20th anniversary cadet camp being held at the Clifton Hunter High School. In addition to the local cadets being from all three islands, the camp is hosting cadets from Barbados, Jamaica, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. The Air Operations team spoke to the cadets about the training they have done and the duties they perform. More information on each of these stories can be found at caymanmallroad.com. Now for your CMR weather update, it's brought to you by WG Charters. Sunrise at 5:55. Sunshine and clouds will be mixed. That Saharan dust will linger. It will heat up to the high 80s on average. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. The sun sets at 7:06. When it cools at nighttime, the temperature falls to the low 80s. High tides at 9:37 a.m. and 10:50 p.m. and low tides at 4:17 a.m. and 4:01 p.m. Looking forward, similar weather conditions are expected. It's summertime, so hot days and warm nights with brief, scattered showers always possible as part of the typical summer pattern. CMR weather updates are brought to you by WG Charters. They offer private boat trips for a great price, so we encourage you to support them. That's it for now on the Daily Buzz. Thank you for joining me. Please stay safe and God bless.
All right, folks. So just when we thought the show was over, that's why sometimes you got to keep listening. It's like an after show. So listen, got an update for you all. Breaking news. Those of you who are here for the after show, get it first. This is what we just received by way of a confirmation. 9:46 a.m. The young lady just returned the car. Thank you so much for your help. Wow. That's all it took. The car is returned to the rightful owner, and the car leasing company now has that vehicle back. Now they can rent it to somebody else who hopefully will have a better track record. Terrell Smith, you're up next. Can you make sure that you reach out to the company and ensure that you pay that $1,200 bill for wrecking their car? Come on, folks. It's pretty easy to do the right thing. It really, in 99% of the times, it's not that difficult. Just have a little bit of a moral compass. Yes? All right, folks, that's all we got for you today. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't go out there scamming anybody. And please do not drink and drive.